This is Autumn.
Random House Audio presents 50 Shades Darker by E.L. James. Read for you by Becca Bateau. Prologue. He's come back. Mommy's asleep or she's sick again. I hide and curl up small under the table in the kitchen. Through my fingers I can see Mommy. She's asleep on the couch. Her hand is on the sticky green rug, and he's wearing his big boots with a shiny buckle, standing over Mommy, shouting. He hits Mommy with a belt. Get up, get up. You are one fucked up bitch. 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 Mommy makes a sobbing noise. Stop. Police hears in my ears, and I close my eyes. The sound stops. He turns, and I can see his boots as he stomps into the kitchen. He still has a belt. He is trying to find me. He stoops down and grins. He smells nasty. Cigarettes and drink. There you are, you little shit. A chilling wail wakes him. Christ! He's drenched in sweat, and his heart is pounding. What the fuck? He sits bolt upright in bed and puts his head in his hands. Fuck. They're back. The noise was me. He takes a deep, steadying breath, trying to rid his mind and nostrils of the smell of cheap bourbon and stale Camel cigarettes. Chapter 1. I have survived day 3 post-Christian, and my first day at work. It has been a welcome by in a haze of new faces, work to do, and Mr. Jack Hyde. Mr. Jack Hyde. He smiles down at me, his blue eyes twinkling as he leans against my desk. Excellent work, Anna. I think we're going to make a great team. Somehow, I manage to curl my lips upward in a semblance of a smile. I'll be off if that's okay with you, I murmur. Of course. It's 5:30. I'll see you tomorrow. Good night, Jack. Good night, Anna. Collecting my bag, I shrug on my jacket and head for the door. Out in the early evening air of Seattle, I take a deep breath. It doesn't begin to fill the void in my chest, a void that's been present since Saturday morning, a painful, hollow reminder of my loss. I walk toward the bus stop with my head down, staring at my feet, and contemplating being without my beloved Wanda, my old beetle, or... I shut the door on that thought immediately. No, don't think about him. Of course, I can afford a car, a nice new car. I suspect he has been over-generous in his payment, and the thought leaves a bitter taste in my mouth, but I dismiss it and try to keep my mind as numb and blank as possible. I can't think about him. I don't want to start crying again, not out on the street. The apartment is empty. I miss Kate, and I imagine her lying on a beach in Barbados sipping a cool cocktail. I turn on the flat-screen television so there's noise to fill the vacuum and provide some semblance of company, but I don't listen or watch. I sit and stare blankly at the brick wall. I am numb. I feel nothing but the pain. How long must I endure this? The door buzzer startles me from my anguish, and my heart skips a beat. Who could that be? I press the intercom. Delivery from Miss Steele. A bored, disembodied voice answers, and disappointment crashes through me. I listlessly make my way downstairs and find a young man noisily chewing gum, holding a large cardboard box and leaning against the front door. I sign for the package and take it upstairs. The box is huge and surprisingly light. Inside are 24 stamped white roses and a card. Congratulations on your first day at work. I hope it went well. And thank you for the glider. That was very thoughtful. It has pride of place on my desk. Christian. I stare at the typed card, the hollow in my chest expanding. No doubt his assistant sent this. Christian probably had very little to do with it. It's too painful to think about. I examine the roses. They are beautiful, and I can't bring myself to throw them in the trash. Dutifully, I make my way into the kitchen to hunt down a vase. And so, a pattern develops. Wake, work, cry, sleep. Well, try to sleep. I can't even escape him in my dreams. Gray, burning eyes, his lost look, his hair burnished and bright, all haunt me. And music. So much music. I am careful to avoid it at all costs. Even the jingles and commercials make me shudder. I have spoken to no one, not even my mother or Ray. I don't have the capacity for idle talk now. No, I want none of it. I have become my own island state, a ravaged, war-torn land where nothing grows and the horizons are bleak. Yes, that's me. I can interact impersonally at work, but that's it. If I talk to Mom, I know I will break even further, and I have nothing left to break. I am finding it difficult to eat. By lunchtime on Wednesday, I manage a cup of yogurt, and it's the first thing I've eaten since Friday. I am surviving on a newfound tolerance for lattes and Diet Coke. It's the caffeine that keeps me going, but it's making me anxious. Jack has started to hover over me, irritating me, asking me personal questions. What does he want? I'm polite, but I need to keep him at arm's length. I sit and begin trawling through a pile of correspondence addressed to him, and I'm pleased with the distraction of menial work. My email pings, and I quickly check to see who it's from. Holy shit! An email from Christian. Oh no, not here, not at work. From Christian Gray, subject, tomorrow, date, June 8th, 2011, 14:05. To Anastasia Steele. Dear Anastasia, forgive this intrusion at work. I hope that it's going well. Did you get my flowers? I note that tomorrow is the gallery opening for your friend's show, and I'm sure you've not had time to purchase a car, and it's a long drive. I would be more than happy to take you, should you wish. Let me know. Christian Gray, CEO, Gray Enterprises Holdings. Tears swim in my eyes. I hastily leave my desk and bolt to the restroom to escape into one of the stalls. Jose's show. I'd forgotten all about it, and I promised him I'd go. Shit, Christian is right. How am I going to get there? I clench my forehead. Why hasn't Jose phoned? Come to think of it, why hasn't anyone phoned? I've been so absent-minded, I haven't noticed that my cell phone has been silent. Shit, I am such an idiot. I still have it set to forward calls to the BlackBerry. Holy hell, Christian's been getting my calls. Unless he's just thrown the BlackBerry away. How did he get my email address? He knows my shoe size, and email address is hardly going to present him with many problems. Can I see him again? Could I bear it? Do I want to see him? I close my eyes and tilt my head back as grief and longing glance through me. Of course I do. Perhaps I can tell him I've changed my mind. No. I cannot be with someone who takes pleasure in inflicting pain on me. Someone who can't love me. Torturous memories flash through my mind. The gliding, holding hands, kissing, the bathtub, his gentleness, his humor, and his dark, brooding, sexy stare. I miss him. It's been 5 days. 5 days of agony that has felt like an eternity. I cry myself to sleep at night, wishing I hadn't walked out. wishing that he could be different, wishing that we were together. How long will this hideous, overwhelming feeling last? I am in purgatory. I wrap my arms around my body, hugging myself tightly, holding myself together. I miss him. I really miss him. I love him. Simple. Anastasia Steele, you are at work. I must be strong, but I want to go to Jose's show. And deep down, the masochist in me wants to see Christian. Taking a deep breath, I head back to my desk. From Anastasia Steele. Subject, tomorrow. Date, June 8th, 2011, 14:25. To Christian Gray. Hi, Christian. Thank you for the flowers. They are lovely. Yes, I would appreciate a lift. Thank you. Anastasia Steele. Assistant to Jack Hyde. Editor, SIP. Checking my phone, I find that it is still set to forward calls to the BlackBerry. Jack is in a meeting, so I quickly call Jose. Hi, Jose. It's Anna. Hello, stranger. His tone is so warm and welcoming. It's almost enough to push me over the edge again. I can't talk long. What time should I be there tomorrow for your show? You're still excited. Yes, of course. I smile. My first genuine smile in 5 days as I picture his broad grin. 7:30. See you then. Goodbye, Jose. Bye, Anna. From Christian Gray. Subject, tomorrow. Date, June 8th, 2011, 14:27. To Anastasia Steele. Dear Anastasia, what time shall I pick you up? Christian Gray, CEO, Gray Enterprises Holdings, Inc. From Anastasia Steele. Subject, tomorrow. Date, June 8th, 2011, 14:32. To Christian Gray. Jose's show starts at 7:30. What time would you suggest? Anastasia Steele, assistant to Jack Hyde, editor, SIP. From Christian Gray. Subject, tomorrow. June 8th, 2011, 14:34. To Anastasia Steele. Dear Anastasia, Portland is some distance away. I shall pick you up at 5:45. I look forward to seeing you. Christian Gray, CEO, Gray Enterprises Holdings, Inc. From Anastasia Steele. Subject, tomorrow. Date, June 8th, 2011, 14:38. To Christian Gray. See you then. Anastasia Steele, assistant to Jack Hyde, editor, SIP. Oh my, I'm going to see Christian, and for the first time in 5 days, my spirits lift a fraction and I allow myself to wonder how he's been. Has he missed me? Probably not like I've missed him. Has he found a new submissive? The thought is so painful that I dismiss it immediately. I look at the pile of correspondence I need to sort for Jack and tackle it as I try to push Christian out of my mind once more. That night in bed, I toss and turn, trying to sleep, and it's the first time in a while I haven't cried myself to sleep. In my mind's eye, I visualize Christian's face the last time I saw him as when I left. His tortured expression haunts me. It was odd. Why would I stay when things had reached such an impasse? We were each skirting around our own issues. My fear of punishment, his fear of what? Love? Turning on my side, I hug my pillow, filled with an overwhelming sadness. He thinks he doesn't deserve to be loved. Why does he feel that way? Does it have to do with his upbringing? His birth mom? The crack whore? My thoughts plague me into the early hours until eventually I fall into a fitful, exhausted sleep. The The day drags, and Jack is unusually attentive. I suspect it's due to Kate's plum dress and the black high-heeled boots I've stolen from her closet, but I don't dwell on the thought. I resolve to go clothes shopping with my first paycheck. The dress is looser on me than it was, but I pretend not to notice. Finally, it's 5:30 and I collect my jacket and purse, trying to quell my nerves. I'm going to see him. Do you have a date tonight? Jack asks as he strolls past my desk on his way out.
People are actually
Yes.
taking vacation, so
No. Not really.
to hospitals.
He raises an eyebrow, his interest
What's
clearly
it like?
piqued. Boyfriend?
Is it like ER?
I flush. No, a friend. An ex-boyfriend. Maybe tomorrow you'd like to come for a drink after work. You've had a stellar first weekend. We should celebrate. He smiles and an unknown, unsettling emotion flits across his face, making me uneasy. Putting his hands in his pockets, he saunters through the double doors. I frown at his retreating back. Drinks with the boss? Is that a good idea? I shake my head. I have an evening of Christian Grey to get through first. How am I going to do this? I hurry into the restroom to make last-minute adjustments. In the large mirror on the wall, I take a long, hard look at my pale self. Dark circles around my too large eyes. I look gaunt, haunted. I wish I knew how to use makeup. I apply some mascara and eyeliner and pinch my cheeks, hoping for some color. Tidying my hair so that it hangs artfully down my back, I take a deep breath. This will have to do. Nervously, I walk through the foyer with a smile and a wave to Claire at reception. I think she and I could become friends. Jack is talking to Elizabeth as I head for the doors. Smiling broadly, he hurries over to open them for me. After you, Anna, he murmurs. Thank you. I smile, embarrassed. Outside on the curb, Taylor is waiting. He opens the rear door of the car. I glance hesitantly at Jack, who has followed me out. He's looking toward the Audi SUV in dismay. I turn and climb into the back, and there he sits, Christian Grey, wearing his gray suit, no tie, white shirt open at the collar. His gray eyes are glowing. My mouth dries. He looks glorious, except he's scowling at me. Why? When did you last eat? He snaps as Taylor closes the door behind me. Crap. Hello, Christian. Yes, it's nice to see you too. I don't want your smart mouth now. Answer me. His eyes blaze. Holy shit. I had a yogurt at lunchtime. Oh, and a banana. When did you last have a real meal? He asks acidly. Taylor slips into the driver's seat, starts the car, and pulls out into the traffic. I glance up, and Jack is waving at me, though how he can see me through the dark glass, I don't know. I wave back. Who's that? Christian snaps. My boss. I peek up at the beautiful man beside me, and his mouth is pressed into a hard line. Well, your last meal? Christian, that really is none of your concern, I murmur, feeling extraordinarily brave. Whatever you do concerns me. Tell me. No, it doesn't. I groan in frustration, rolling my eyes heavenward, and Christian narrows his eyes. And, for the first time in a long time, I want to laugh. I try hard to stifle the giggle that threatens to bubble up. Christian's face softens as I struggle to keep a straight face, and a trace of a smile kisses his lovely sculptured lips. Well, he asks, his voice softer. Pasta alla vongole, last Friday, I whisper. He closes his eyes as fury and possibly regret sweeps across his face. I see, he says, his voice expressionless. You look like you've lost at least 5 pounds, possibly more, since then. Anastasia. He scolds. I stare down at the knotted fingers in my lap. Why does he always make me feel like an errant child? He shifts and turns toward me. How are you? He asks, his voice still soft. Well, I'm shit, really. I swallow. If I told you I was fine, I'd be lying. He inhales sharply. Me too, he murmurs and reaches over and clasps my hand. I miss you, he adds. Oh no, skin against skin. Christian, Anna, please, we need to talk. I'm going to cry. No. Christian, please, I've cried so much, I whisper, trying to keep my emotions in check. Oh, baby, no. He tugs my hand, and before I know it, I'm on his lap. He has his arms around me, and his nose is in my hair. I've missed you so much, Anastasia, he breathes. I want to struggle out of his hold, to maintain some distance, but his arms are wrapped. Oh, this is where I want to be. I rest my head against him, and he kisses my hair repeatedly. This is home. He smells of linen, fabric softener, body wash, and my favorite smell, Christian. For a moment, I allow myself the illusion that all will be well, and it soothes my ravaged soul. A few minutes later, Taylor pulls to a stop at the curb. Come. Christian shifts me off his lap. We're here. What? Helipad. On the top of this building. Christian glances toward the building by way of explanation. Of course. Charlie Tango. Taylor opens the door and I slide out. He gives me a warm, avuncular smile that makes me feel safe. I smile back. I should give you back your handkerchief. Keep it, Miss Steele, with my best wishes. I blush as Christian comes around the car and takes my hand. He looks quizzically at Taylor, who stares impassively back at him, revealing nothing. 9? Christian says to him. Yes, sir. Christian nods as he turns and leads me through the double doors into the grandiose foyer. I revel in the feel of his hand and his long, skilled fingers curled around mine. The familiar pull is there. I'm drawn, interest, sun. I've been burned already, and yet here I am, again. Reaching the elevators, he presses the call button. I peek up at him, and he's wearing his enigmatic half smile. As the doors open, he releases my hand and ushers me in. The doors close, and I risk a second peek. He glances down at me, and it's there in the air between us, that electricity. It's palpable. I can almost taste it, pulsing between us, drawing us together. Oh my, I gasp as I bask briefly in the intensity of this visceral, primal attraction. I feel it too, he says, his eyes clouded and intense. Desire pools dark and deadly in my groin. He clasps my hand and grazes my knuckles with his thumb, and all my muscles clench tightly, deliciously, deep inside me. How can he still do this to me? Please don't bite your lip, Anastasia, he whispers. I gaze up at him, releasing my lip. I want him, here, now, in the elevator. How could I not? You know what it does to me, he murmurs. Oh, I still affect him, breaking the spell, and we're on the roof. It's windy, and despite my black jacket, I'm cold. Christian puts his arm around me, pulling me into his side, and we hurry across to where Charlie Tango stands in the center of the helipad, with its rotor blades slowly spinning. A tall, blonde, square-jawed man in a dark suit leaps out and, ducking low, runs toward us. Shaking hands with Christian, he shouts above the noise of the rotors. Ready to go, sir. She's all yours. All checks done? Yes, sir. You'll collect her around 8:30? Yes, sir. Taylor's waiting for you out front. Thank you, Mr. Gray. Safe flight to Portland. Bam. He salutes me. Without releasing me, Christian nods, ducks down, and leads me to the helicopter door. Once inside, he buckles me firmly into my harness, cinching the straps tight. He gives me a knowing look and his secret smile. This should keep you in your place, he murmurs. I must say I like this harness on you. Don't touch anything. I flush a deep crimson, and he runs his index finger down my cheek before handing me the headphones. I'd like to touch you too, but he won't let me. I scowl. Besides, he's pulled the straps so tight I can barely move. He sits in his seat and buckles himself in, then starts running through all his pre-flight checks. He's just so competent. It's very alluring. He puts on his headphones and flips a switch, and the rotors speed up, deafening me. Turning, he gazes at me. Ready, baby? His voice echoes through the headphones. Yes. He grins his boyish grin. Wow, I've not seen it for so long. SeaTac Tower, this is Charlie Tango Golf Golf Echo Hotel. Clear for takeoff to Portland via PDX. Please confirm. Over. The disembodied voice of the air traffic controller answers, issuing instructions. Roger, Tower. Charlie Tango set. Over and out. Christian flips two switches, grasps the stick, and the helicopter rises slowly and smoothly into the evening sky. Seattle and my stomach drop away from us, and there's so much to see. We've chased the dawn, Anastasia. Now the dusk. His voice comes through on the headphones. I turn and gape at him in surprise. What does this mean? How is it that he can say the most romantic things? He smiles, and I can't help my shy smile. As well as the evening sun, there's more to see this time, he says. The last time we flew to Seattle, it was dark, but this evening, the view is spectacular, literally out of this world. We're up among the tallest buildings, going higher and higher. A scala's over there. He points toward the building. Going there, and you can just see the Space Needle. I crane my head. I've never been. I'll take you. We can eat there. Christian, we broke up. I know. I can still take you there and feed you. He glares at me. I shake my head and decide not to antagonize him. It's very beautiful up here. Thank you. Impressive, isn't it? Impressive that you can do this. Flattery from you, Miss Steele. But I'm a man of many talents. I'm fully aware of that, Mr. Gray. He turns and smirks at me, and for the first time in 5 days, I relax a little. Perhaps this won't be so bad. How's the new job? Good, thank you. Interesting. What's your boss like? Oh, he's okay. How can I tell Christian that Jack makes me uncomfortable? Christian glances at me. What's wrong? He asks. Aside from the obvious, nothing. The obvious? Oh, Christian, you really are very obtuse sometimes. Obtuse? Me? I'm not sure I appreciate your tone, Miss Steele. Well, don't then. His lips twitch into a smile. I have missed your smart mouth, Anastasia. I gasp, and I want to shout. I've missed you. All of you, not just your mouth. But I keep quiet and gaze out the glass fishbowl that is Charlie Tango's windshield as we continue south. The dusk is to our right, the sun low on the horizon, large, blazing, fiery orange. And I am Icarus again, flying far too close. The dusk follows us from Seattle, and the sky is awash with opal, pinks, and aquamarines woven seamlessly together as only Mother Nature knows how. It's a clear, crisp evening, and the lights in Portland twinkle and wink, welcoming us as Christian sets the helicopter down on the helipad. It's been hardly any time at all, yet I feel like I've known Christian for a lifetime. He powers down Charlie Tango, flipping various switches so the rotors stop, and eventually, all I hear is my own breathing through the headphones. Briefly, it reminds me of the Thomas Tallis experience. I blanch. I don't want to go there right now. Christian unbuckles his harness and leans across to undo mine. Good trip, Miss Steele? He asks, his voice mild, his eyes glowing. Yes, thank you, Mr. Gray, I reply politely.
Sir.
Well, let's go see the boys' photos. He holds his hand out to me, and, taking it, I climb out of Charlie Tango. A gray-haired man with a beard walks over to meet us, grinning broadly, and I recognize him as the old-timer from the last time we were here. Joe. Christian smiles and releases my hand to shake Joe's warmly. Keep her safe for stuffing. He'll be along around 8 or 9. Will do, Mr. Gray. Ma'am, he says, nodding at me. Your car's waiting downstairs, sir. Oh, and the elevator's out of order. You'll need to use the stairs. Thank you, Joe. Christian takes my hand, and we head to the emergency stairs. Good thing for you, this is only 3 floors, in those heels. He mutters in disapproval. No kidding. Don't you like the boots? I like them very much, Anastasia. His gaze darkens, and I think he might say something else, but he stops. Come, we'll take it slow. I don't want you falling and breaking your neck. We sit in silence as our driver takes us to the gallery. My anxiety has returned full force, and I realize that our time in Charlie Tango has been the eye of the storm. Christian is quiet and brooding, apprehensive even. Our lighter mood from earlier has dissipated. There's so much I want to say, but this journey is too short. Christian stares pensively out the window. Jose is just a friend, I murmur. Christian turns and gazes at me, his eyes dark and guarded, giving nothing away. His mouth, oh, his mouth is distracting and unbidden. I remember it on me, everywhere. My skin heats. He shifts in his seat and frowns. Those beautiful eyes look too large in your face, Anastasia. Please tell me you'll eat. Yes, Christian, I'll eat. I answer automatically, a platitude. I mean it. Do you now? I cannot keep the disdain out of my voice. Honestly, the audacity of this man who has put me through hell over the last few days. No, that's wrong. I've put myself through hell. No, it's him. I shake my head, confused. I don't want to fight with you, Anastasia. I want you back, and I want you healthy, he says. But nothing's changed. You're still 50 shades. Let's talk on the way back. We're here. The car pulls up in front of the gallery, and Christian climbs out, leaving me speechless. He opens the car door for me, and I clamber out. Why do you do that? My voice is louder than I expected. Do what? Christian is taken aback. Say something like that and then just stop. Anastasia, we're here. Where you want to be. Let's do this and then talk. I don't particularly want to see in the street. I glance around. He's right. It's too public. I press my lips together as he glares down at me. Okay, I mutter sulkily. Clasping my hand, he takes me into the building. We are in a converted warehouse. Brick walls, dark wood floors, white ceilings, and white pipework. It's airy and modern, and there are several people wandering across the gallery floor, sipping wine and for a moment, my troubles melt away as I grasp that Jose has realized his dream. Way to go, Jose. Good evening, and welcome to Jose Rodriguez's show. A young woman dressed in black with very short brown hair, bright red lipstick, and large hooped earrings greets us. She glances briefly at me, then much longer than is strictly necessary at Christian, then turns back to me, blinking as she blushes. My brow creases. He's mine. Or was. I tried hard not to scowl at her. As her eyes regain their focus, she blinks again. Oh, it's you, Anna. We'll want your take on all this, too. Grinning, she hands me a brochure and directs me to a table laden with drinks and snacks. Know her? Christian frowns. I shake my head, equally puzzled.
They hate it.
He shrugs, distracted.
These fuckers have a one
What would you
eye.
like to
It's like the
drink?
Lesotho of South Africa.
I'll have a glass of white wine, thank you. His brow furrows, but he holds his tongue and heads for the open bar. Anna! Jose comes barreling through a throng of people. Holy cow! He's wearing a suit. He looks good and he's beaming at me. He enfolds me in his arms, hugging me hard, and it's all I can do not to burst into tears. My friend. He's my only friend while Kate is away. Tears pool in my eyes. Anna, I'm so glad you made it, he whispers in my ear. Abruptly, he holds me at arm's length, examining me. What? Hey, are you okay? You look, well, God. Dios mío, have you lost weight? I blink back my tears. Not him too. Jose, I'm fine. I'm just so happy for you. Congratulations on the show. My voice wavers as I see the concern etched on his oh-so-familiar face. But I have to hold myself together. How did you get here? He asks. Christian brought me, I say, suddenly apprehensive. Oh. Jose's face falls and he releases me. Where is he? His expression darkens. Over there, fetching drinks. I nod in Christian's direction and notice that he's exchanging pleasantries with someone waiting in line. Christian glances up and our eyes lock. And in that brief moment, I'm paralyzed, staring at the impossibly handsome man who gazes at me with some unfathomable emotion. His gaze hot, burning into me, and we're lost for a moment, staring at each other. Holy cow, this beautiful man wants me back, and deep down inside me, sweet joy slowly unfurls like a morning glory in the early dawn. Anna! Jose distracts me, and I'm dragged back to the here and now. I'm so glad you came. Listen, I should warn you.
That little house.
Suddenly, this very short hair and red lipstick cuts him off. Jose, the journalist from the Portland Prince is here to see you. Come on. She gives me a polite smile. How cool is this? The fame! He grins, and I can't help but grin back. He's so happy. Catch you later, Anna. He kisses my cheek, and I watch him stroll over to a young woman standing by a tall, lanky photographer. Jose's photographs are everywhere, and in some cases, blown up onto huge canvases. There are both monochromes and colors. There's an ethereal beauty to many of the landscapes. In one, taken near the lake at Vancouver, it's early evening and pink clouds are reflected in the stillness of the water. Briefly, I'm transported by the tranquility and the peace. It's stunning. Christian joins me and hands me my glass of white wine. Does it come up to scratch? My voice sounds more normal. He looks quizzically at me. The wine. No, rarely does at these kinds of events. The boy is quite talented, isn't he? Christian is admiring the lake photo. Why else do you think I asked him to take your portrait? The pride is obvious in my voice. His eyes glide impassively from the photograph to me. Christian Grey. The photographer from the Portland Prince approaches Christian. Can I have a picture, sir? Sure. Christian hides his scowl. I step back, but he grabs my hand and pulls me to his side. The photographer looks at both of us and can't hide his surprise. Mr. Gray, thank you. He snaps a couple of photos. Miss, he asks. Anna Steele, I reply. Thank you, Miss Steele. He scurries off. I looked for pictures of you with dates on the internet. There aren't any. That's why Kate thought you were gay. Christian's mouth twitches into a smile. That explains your inappropriate question. No, I don't do dates, Anastasia. Only with you. But you know that. His voice is quiet with sincerity. So you never took your... I glance around nervously to check no one can overhear us. Subs out? Sometimes. Not on dates. Shopping, you know. He shrugs, his eyes not leaving mine. Oh, so just in the playroom, his red room of pain, and his apartment. I don't know what to feel about that. Just you, Anastasia, he whispers. I blush and stare down at my fingers. In his own way, he does care about me. Your friend here seems more of a landscape man, smiling broadly as if they know me. It must be because I'm with Christian. But one young man is blatantly staring. Odd. And I see why I've been getting strange looks. On our wall are 7 huge portraits of me. I stare blankly at them, stupefied, the blood draining from my face. Me, pouting, laughing, scowling, serious, amused. All in super close up. All in black and white. Holy shit. I remember Jose messing with the camera on a couple of occasions when he was visiting and when I'd been out with him as driver and photographer's assistant. He took snapshots, or so I thought. Not these invasive, candid shots. Christian is staring, transfixed, at each of the pictures in turn. Seems I'm not the only one. He mutters cryptically, his mouth settling into a hard line. I think he's angry. Excuse me, he says, pinning me with his bright gaze for a moment. He heads to the reception desk. What's his problem now? I watch mesmerized as he talks animatedly with Miss Very Short Hair and red lipstick. He fishes out his wallet and produces his credit card. Shit. He must have bought one of them. Hey, you're the muse. These photographs are terrific. A young man with a shock of bright blonde hair startles me. I feel a hand at my elbow and Christian is back. You're a lucky guy. Blonde shock says to Christian, who gives him a cold stare. That I am, he mutters darkly, as he pulls me over to one side. Did you just buy one of these? One of these? He snorts, not taking his eyes off them. You bought more than one?
I'm not saying
He rolls his eyes. I bought them all, Anastasia. I don't want some stranger offering you the privacy of their home. My first inclination is to laugh. You'd rather it was you? I scoff. He glares down at me, caught off guard by my audacity, I think, but he's trying to hide his amusement. Frankly, yes. Pervert. I mouth at him and bite my lower lip to prevent my smile. His mouth drops open, and now his amusement is obvious. He strokes his chin thoughtfully. Can't argue with that assessment, Anastasia. He shakes his head, and his eyes soften with humor. I'd discuss it further with you, but I've signed an NDA. He sighs, gazing at me, and his eyes darken. What I'd like to do to your smell, he murmurs. I gasp, knowing full well what he means. You're very rude. I try to sound shocked and succeed. Has he no boundaries? He smirks, amused, then frowns. You look very relaxed in these photographs, Anastasia. I don't see you like that very often. What? Whoa, change of subject. Talk about non sequitur from playful to serious. I flush and glance down at my fingers. He tilts my head back, and I inhale shyly at the contact with his fingers. I want you that relaxed with me, he whispers. All trace of humor has gone. Deep inside me, that joy stirs again. But how can this be? We have issues. You have to stop intimidating me if you want that, I snap. You have to learn to communicate and tell me how you feel. He snaps back, eyes blazing. I take a deep breath. Christian, you wanted me as a submissive. That's where the problem lies. It's in the definition of a submissive. You emailed it to me once? I pause, trying to recall the wording. I think the synonyms were, and I quote, compliant, pliant, resigned, patient, docile, tame, subdued. I wasn't supposed to look at you, not talk to you unless you gave me permission to do so. What do you expect? I hiss at him. His frown deepens as I continue. It's very confusing being with you. You don't want me to defy you, but then you like my smart mouth. You want obedience, except when you don't, so you can punish me. I just don't know which way is up when I'm with you. He narrows his eyes. Good point, well made, as usual, Miss Steele. His voice is frigid. Come, let's go eat. We've only been here for half an hour. You've seen the photos, you've spoken to the boy. His name is Jose. You've spoken to Jose, the man who, the last time I met him, was trying to push his tongue into your reluctant mouth while you were drunk and sick. He snarls. He's never hit me. I spit at him. Christian scowls, fury emanating from every pore. That's a low blow, Anastasia. He whispers menacingly. I pale, and Christian runs his hands through his hair, bristling with barely contained anger. I glare back at him. I'm taking you for something to eat. You're fading away in front of me.
Really?
Find the boy.
Yeah.
Say goodbye. Please, can we stay longer? No. Go. Now.
Did you like them?
Say goodbye.
Yeah.
I glower at him, my
To be
blood
honest with you,
boiling. Mr. Damned
I knew
Control
when I
Freak.
wasn't a student.
Angry is good.
He's still cheap.
Angry is
Really?
better than tearful.
Treated me with a lot of respect. He's a very, very nice man.
I drag my gaze away from him and scan the room for Jose.
Did you know when
He's
you were
talking to a group of young women. I stalk off toward him and away from 50. Just because he brought me here, I have to do as he says? Who the hell does he think he is?
Really?
The girls are hanging on Jose's every word. One of them gasps as I approach, no doubt recognizing me from the portraits. Jose, Anna, excuse me, girls. Jose grins at them and puts his arm around me, and on some level, I'm amused. Jose, all smooth, impressing the ladies. You look mad, he says. I have to go, I mutter foolishly. You just got here. I know, but Christian needs to get back. The pictures are fantastic, Jose. You're very talented. He beams. It was so cool seeing you. Jose sweeps me into a big bear hug, spinning me so I can see Christian across the gallery. He's scowling, and I realize it's because I'm in Jose's arms. So in a very calculating move, I wrap my arms around Jose's neck. I think Christian is going to expire. His glare darkens to something quite sinister, and slowly he makes his way toward us. Thanks for the warning about the portraits of me. I mumble. Shit. Sorry, Anna. I should have told you. Do you like them? I don't know, I answered truthfully, momentarily knocked off balance by his question. Well, they're all sold, so somebody likes them. How cool is that? You're a poster girl. He hugs me tighter as Christian reaches us, glowering at me now, though fortunately Jose doesn't see. Jose releases me. Don't be a stranger, Emma. Oh, Mr. Gray. Good evening. Mr. Rodriguez. Very impressive. Christian sounds icily polite. I'm sorry we can't stay longer, but we need to head back to Seattle. Anastasia. He subtly stresses we and takes my hand as he does so. Bye, Jose. Congratulations again.
Really?
I give him a quick kiss on the cheek, and before I know it, Christian is dragging me out of the building. I know he's boiling with silent wrath, but so am I. He looks quickly up and down the street, then heads left and suddenly sweeps me into a side alley, abruptly pushing me up against a wall. He grabs my face between his hands, forcing I gasp, and his mouth swoops down.
Through her.
He's kissing me
Like, I knew him.
violently.
I met him. He was
Briefly,
really
our
nice
teeth
to me.
flash,
But then
then
she
his
was
tongue's in my mouth.
Really?
Desire explodes like the 4th of July throughout my body,
Always in
and I'm
a very
kissing
good
him
way.
back, matching his fervor.
He's very
My
particular.
hands knotting in his hair, pulling it hard.
Like,
He groans, a low, sexy sound in the back of his throat that reverberates
I'll
through
never
me,
forget shit.
and his hand moves down my body to the top of my thigh, his fingers digging into my flesh through the plum dress. I pour all the angst and heartbreak of the last few days into our kiss, binding it into me, and it hits me. In this moment of blinding passion, he is doing the same. He feels the
I
same.
had like either.
He breaks off the kiss, panting. His eyes are luminous with desire, firing the already heated blood that is pounding through my body. My mouth is slack as I try to drag precious air into my lungs. You are
Makes sense, but like
mine, he snarls, emphasizing each word.
a lot.
He pushes away from me and
So
bends,
much more
hands on his knees as if
that
he's
if you
running a
have it the
marathon.
same color
For the love
as
of God,
the other
Anna.
part of the floor,
I lean against the wall, panting, trying to control the riotous reaction in my body,
it'll be obvious.
trying to find my
But if
equilibrium.
you made them two different
I'm
colors,
sorry, I whisper once my breath has returned.
one would wear all the time, but
I
it's just
know
that
what
color,
you're
no
doing.
care.
Do
And the
you
other one,
want the photographer, Anastasia? He obviously has feelings for you. I shake my head guiltily.
taught
No,
you that?
he's just a friend.
There we go. You just
I have spent all my adult life trying to avoid any extreme emotion. Yet you bring out feelings in me that are completely alien. It's very, he frowns, grasping for the word, unsettling. I like control, Anna, and around you, that just... He stands, his gaze intense, evaporates. He waves his hand vaguely, then runs it through his hair and takes a deep breath. He clasps my hand. Come, we need to talk, and you need to eat. Chapter 2. He whisks me into a small, intimate restaurant. This place will have to do. Christian grumbles. We don't have much time. The restaurant looks fine to me. Wooden chairs, linen tablecloths, and walls the same color as Christian's playroom. Deep blood red, with randomly placed small gilt mirrors, white candles, and small vases of white roses. Ella Fitzgerald crooned softly in the background about this thing called love. It's very romantic. The waiter leads us to a table for two in a small alcove, and I sit, apprehensive and wondering what he's going to say. We don't have long, Christian says to the waiter as we sit. So we'll each have sirloin steak cooked medium, mayonnaise sauce, if you haven't, fries, and green vegetables, whatever the chef has, and bring me the wine list.
Well, this is an
Certainly, sir.
interesting one.
The waiter, taken
I
aback
thought
by
there's like a
Christian's
certain
cool,
kind of
calm
church that's the
efficiency,
mafia.
scuttles off.
That's the church.
Christian places his BlackBerry on the table.
Oh,
Geez, don't I get a choice? And if I
so
don't like
basically, like,
steak, he
no offense
sighs.
to
Don't
Asians.
start, Anastasia.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say shit.
I
Okay,
am
you're
not a
fucking smarter,
child, Christian.
better
Well, stop
looking,
acting
more
like one.
symmetric, athletes up
It's
the
as
ass.
if he's
But
slapping
it's a numbers game. Why?
So
So many
this is
people.
how it will be.
It's like
An agitated, fraught
chances are the best
conversation,
people come from Asia.
albeit
Okay,
in
cool.
a very romantic
When
setting,
it comes to the Roman
but
Catholic Church,
certainly no hearts and
I'm
flowers.
saying it seriously. Really?
I'm a child because I
Not
don't
by
like
the
steak,
mafia.
I
Not by
mutter,
like the Italian
trying to
mafia.
conceal my hurt, or deliberately making me jealous. It's a childish thing to do.
I don't think my dad's
Have
ever
you
seen
no
a picture.
regard for your friend's
If he
feelings?
did, it was just one of those
Leaving
like
him on
ad
like
things.
that? Christian presses his
Really?
lips together in a thin line and scowls as the waiter returns with the wine list. I blush. I hadn't thought of that. Poor Jose. I certainly don't want to encourage him. Suddenly, I'm mortified. Christian
It
has a
shouldn't be
point.
that way.
It was a
But it's
thoughtless
like, what are you
thing to
gonna
do.
teach me?
He glances at the wine
What's the
list.
new guy gonna teach me?
Arrogance personified.
Why? Because
He
it's
knows
like
I know nothing
that
about
fucking
wine.
institution's been
You
around for
choose.
like
I answer,
2000
sullen but chastened.
and
2 glasses of the Barossa Valley Shiraz, please. We
of
only
that
sell that
amount of
wine by
time.
the bottle, sir. A bottle, then. Christian snaps. Sir? He retreats, subdued, and I don't blame him.
Age to be
I
part of
frown
that
at 50.
equation,
What's
like
eating him? Oh, myself, probably.
no more
And
than
somewhere in the depths of my psyche,
5
my inner goddess rises sleepily, stretches, and smiles. She's been asleep for a while. You're very
and
grumpy.
memories, surprisingly.
He gazes at me impassively.
But yeah,
I wonder why that is. Well, it's good to set the right tone for an intimate and honest discussion about the future, wouldn't you say? I smile at him sweetly. His mouth presses into a hard line, but then, almost reluctantly, his lips lift, and I know he's trying to stifle his smile. I'm sorry, he says.
No, but
Apology accepted. And I'm pleased to inform you I haven't decided to become a vegetarian since we last ate.
What the fuck is that?
Since that was the last time you ate, I think it's
Now
a
that
good
thing,
point.
my father would say,
There's that word again, moot. He
he'd say,
mouths and his eyes
I'd be like, Dad,
soften
is that
with
the kind of
humor.
church you'd like,
He runs his hand through his hair, and he's
yeah,
serious
that
again.
would be a compliment. That'd be the highest of all
The
compliments,
last time we spoke,
basically.
you
Like,
left
keep an eye
me.
out for them. They're
I'm a
Chinese.
little
He
nervous.
wouldn't say it was Chinese.
I've told you I want you back, and you've said
No, he would say, if anything, if he was going to
his
say
gaze is
something,
intense and expectant, while his candor is totally
Chinese
disarming.
people
What the hell do I
can be
say
very
to
smart
this?
for people from China.
I've missed you. Really missed you, Christian.
But to kind of play that
Past
more
few
folks.
days
Those
have been
Chinese, they're pretty smart.
difficult. I swallow, and a lump in my throat swells as I recall my desperate anguish since I
Religion
left him.
of the Lord of Him.
This last week
After
has
the
been
Chinese
the
term
worst in my life. The pain almost
has a long,
indescribable.
complicated history. You're telling
Nothing
me.
has come
Look at
close.
this.
But reality hits home, winding me.
John of mine.
Nothing's changed. I can't be what you want me to be. I squeeze the words out past the lump in my throat.
You can get into
Are
like
what I want
the
you to be,
Chinese Communist
he
Party,
says, his voice emphatic.
even though
No,
they hate
Christian, I'm not.
by being somehow associated.
You're upset
This is
because
like
of what
all
happened last time.
really, yeah.
I behaved stupidly, and you. So did you.
I mean, like, all the
Why didn't you say the word Anastasia? His tone changes, becomes accusatory. What? Whoa, change of direction. Answer me.
They
I don't know.
in China.
I was overwhelmed. I was trying to be what you wanted me to be, trying to deal with the pain, and it went out of my mind. You know, I forgot. I whisper, ashamed, and I shrug apologetically. Perhaps we could have avoided all this heartache. You forgot? He gasps with
Why?
horror,
Because from when I
grabbing
was
the
a
sides
kid,
of the table and glaring. I wither under his stare.
They're Irish.
Shit.
They're
He's
Italian.
furious. Expect me to. See, you brought this all on yourself. How can I trust you? His voice is low. Ever.
But
The waiter arrives with our wine as we sit staring at each other, blue eyes to gray. Both of us filled with unspoken recriminations, while the waiter removes the cork with an unnecessary flourish and pours a little wine into Christian's glass.
and
Automatically, Christian reaches out and takes a sip. That's fine. His voice is curt.
really,
Gingerly, the waiter fills our glasses, placing the bottle on the table before we
No,
make a
it's a
hasty
little kid.
retreat.
so I.
Christian has not taken his eyes off me the whole time. I am the first to crack, breaking eye contact, picking up my glass and taking a large
Yeah,
gulp.
I can be understood.
barely
But
taste it.
I had on the
I'm sorry, I whispered, suddenly feeling stupid.
Because they had
I left because I thought we were incompatible,
but
but he's saying I could have stopped him?
fuck you.
Sorry for what? He says,
But
alarmed.
it's just like, oh, it wasn't
He's
exactly
not
the
using
same.
the safe word.
Really.
He closes his eyes as if in relief.
You ever see him outside?
We might have avoided all this suffering. He mutters, You look fine.
Right?
More than fine.
No, but I saw
You look like
there.
you.
Really? Yeah, they're the son, I think. I
Appearances
could be
can be
wrong. It
deceptive.
might not be the same
He
thing.
says quietly, I'm anything
Oh, you think
but fine.
no, it's
I
just
feel like the sun has set and not risen
There
for
were
5
no-
days, Nana. I'm in perpetual
Okay.
night here.
really.
I'm winded by his admission.
I remember there was a little
Like me.
to sell to.
You said you'd never leave, yet the going gets tough and you're out the door.
Why?
When did I say I'd never
There's still
leave?
a lot of them.
In your sleep. It was the most comforting thing I'd heard in so long, Anastasia.
What the
It
fuck?
made me relax. My heart constricts and I reach for my
Yeah,
wine.
that'd be cool. This came in.
You said you loved me.
Creative.
Whispers. Is that now in the past tense?
I should have.
His voice
We
is
can
low,
make it.
laced with anxiety.
We could be a
No, Christian, it's not. He
You haven't
looks
said
so
anything.
vulnerable as he exhales. Good, he murmurs. I'm shocked by his admission. He's had a change of heart. When I told him I loved him before, he was horrified. The waiter is back. Briskly, he places our plates in front of us and scuttles away. Holy hell, food.
I really just
Eat, Christian commands. Deep down, I know I'm hungry, but right now, my stomach is in knots. Sitting across from the only man I have ever loved and debating our uncertain future does not promote a healthy appetite. I look dubiously at my
my
food.
orals can give it.
So help me God, Anastasia, if you don't eat, I will take you across my knee here in this restaurant, and it will have nothing to do with my sexual gratification. Eat. Keep your hair on, Bray. My subconscious stares at me over her half-moon specs. She is wholeheartedly in agreement with 50 Shades.
No, I was.
Okay, I'll eat. Stow your twitching palm, please. He doesn't smile, but continues to glare at me. Reluctantly, I lift my knife and fork and slice into my steak. Oh, it's mouth-wateringly good. I am hungry. Really hungry. I chew and he visibly relaxes. We eat our supper in silence. The music's changed. A soft-voiced woman sings in the background, her words echoing my thoughts. I'll never be the same since he came into my life. I glance at 50. He's eating and watching me. Hunger, longing, anxiety combined in one hot look. Do you know who's singing?
What? Who do you think it
I
was?
try for some normal conversation.
A
Christian
Chinese
pauses and
spiritual
listens.
leader
No, but she's good,
of like.
whoever she is. I like her too. Finally, he smiles his private, enigmatic smile. What's he planning? What? I ask. He shakes his head.
That I
Meet up.
believe.
he says
No,
mildly.
I'm not.
I have eaten half the food on my plate.
But
I cannot eat any more. How can I negotiate this?
And other like eating.
I can't manage anymore. Have I eaten enough
Maybe.
for sir?
Why? Because confusion is
He stares at me impassively,
into-
not answering, then glances at his watch. I'm really full, I add, taking a sip of the delicious wine. We have to go shortly. Taylor's here, and you have to be up for work in the morning. So do you. I function on a lot less sleep than you do, Anastasia. At least you've eaten something.
And if you believe in the multiverse, then
Aren't we going back via Charlie Tango?
Right. Really?
No. I thought I might have a drink. Taylor will pick us up. Besides, this way I have you in the car all to myself for a few hours at least. What can we do but talk?
We had some doctors there.
Oh, that's
like the
his
whole
plan.
fucking everybody's a Canadian.
Christian summons the waiter to ask for the check, then picks up his BlackBerry and makes a call. We're at Le Picoton, Southwest 3rd Avenue. He hangs up. He's still curt over the phone. You're very brusque with Taylor. In fact, with most people. I just get to the point quickly, Anastasia. You haven't gotten to the point this evening. Nothing's changed, Christian. I have a proposition for you. This started with a proposition. A different proposition. The waiter returns, and Christian hands over his credit card without checking the bill. He gazes at me speculatively while the waiter swipes his card. Christian's phone buzzes once, and he peers at it. He has a proposition? What now? A couple of scenarios run through my mind. Kidnapping, working for him. No, nothing makes sense.
I'm a teacher.
Christian finishes paying. Don't want to lose you, Anastasia. He kisses my knuckles tenderly, and the touch of his lips on my skin resonates through my body. Outside, the Audi is waiting. Christian opens my door. Climbing in, I sink into the plush leather. He heads to the driver's side. Taylor steps out of the car, and they talk briefly. This isn't their usual protocol. I'm curious. What are they talking about? Moments later, they are both back in the car, and I glance at Christian, who's wearing his impassive face as he stares ahead. I allow myself a brief moment to examine his profile. Straight nose, sculpted full lips, hair falling deliciously over his forehead. This divine man is surely not meant for me. Soft music fills the rear of the car, a grand orchestral piece that I don't know, and Taylor pulls into the light traffic, heading for I-5 and Seattle. Christian shifts to face me. As I was saying, Anastasia, I have a proposition for you. I glance nervously at Taylor. Taylor can't hear you. Christian reassures me. How? Taylor. Christian calls. Taylor doesn't respond. He calls again. Still no response. Christian leans over and taps his shoulder. Taylor removes an earbud I hadn't noticed.
Hello?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Taylor. It's okay. Resume your listening. Sir? Happy now? He's listening to his iPod. Puccini. Forget he's here. I do. Did you deliberately ask him to do that?
I never.
Yes. Oh.
I never said.
Okay. Your proposition? Christian looks suddenly determined and businesslike. Holy shit. We're negotiating a deal. I listen attentively. Let me ask you something first.
Oh, it's.
Do you want a regular vanilla relationship with no kinky fuckery at all? My mouth drops open. Kinky fuckery? I squeak.
But that does not mean. I mean, the fact that it's allowed.
I can't believe you said that. Well,
The fact that you say Shemai, it's
Answer
these
me.
guys fucking
He
water
says
for it.
calmly.
It would be like me saying.
I flush. My inner goddess is down on bended knee with her hands clasped in supplication, begging me. I like your kinky fuckery, I whisper. That's what I thought. So what don't you like? Not being able to touch you, you're enjoying my pain, the bite of the belt. The threat of cruel and unusual punishment. What does that mean? Well, you have all those canes and whips and stuff in your playroom, and they frighten the living daylights out of me. I don't want you to use them on me. Okay, so no whips or canes, or belts, for that matter, he says sardonically. I gaze at him, puzzled.
Really?
Are you attempting to redefine the hard limits? Not
All right,
as
well, think
such.
about it.
I'm just trying to understand you, get a clearer picture of what you do and don't like.
Every fucking Chinese person I've ever met, their
Fundamentally,
ancestors
Christian, it's your joy in
and
inflicting
Vietnamese
pain on me that's difficult for me to handle. And the idea that you'll do it because I have crossed some arbitrary line. But it's not arbitrary. The rules are written down. I don't want a set of rules.
So what would you
None
call
at
that?
all. No rules.
No, there's like this
I
weird
shake my head, but my
Sino-
heart is in
Sino
my mouth.
Chinese.
Where is he going
Japanese
with this?
fusion
But you don't mind if I spank you.
interaction.
Spank me with what?
Why don't
This.
you have like a beach
He
house
holds
there?
up his hand. I squirm
What's
uncomfortably.
that? Buddhism?
No, not really. Especially with those silver balls. Thank heavens it's dark.
Oh, dude, it
My
totally
face
is.
is burning and my voice trails off as I recall that night. Yeah, I'd do that again. He smirks. Yes, that was fun. More than fun, I mutter. So you can deal with some pain. I shrug. Yes, I suppose. Oh, where is he going with this?
All right, so
My anxiety level has shot up several magnitudes on the Richter scale. He strokes his chin, deep in thought. Anastasia, I want to start again. Do the vanilla
So,
thing,
do you
and
agree with the
then
golden
maybe,
rule? I think.
once you trust me more and I trust you to be honest and to communicate with me, we could move on and do some of the things that I like to do. I stare at him, stunned, with no thoughts in my head, him clearly as we're
That's
shrouded
cute.
in the
Is
aura
that
of
other
darkness. It occurs
It
to me,
says treat
finally,
others.
this is it.
No, no, do unto others.
He wants the light,
We're good.
but
Listen,
can I
treat
ask
others
him to
the way
do
you want
this
to
for
be treated.
me? And don't I like the dark? Some dark, sometimes.
Hold on.
Memories of the Thomas Tallis
Yeah.
night drift invitingly through my mind.
Instead of
But what about punishments?
there's a
No
there's a
punishments.
something,
He shakes his head. None.
there are two ways to put it.
And the rules?
Do unto others
No
as you would have them
rules.
do.
None at all? But you have needs. I need you more,
Which is
Anastasia. These last few days have been hell. All my instincts tell me to let you go.
Treat others the
Tell
way
me
that you
I
would be
don't
treated.
deserve
That's
you.
Jewish. And
Those photos the boy took.
then there's this fucking
I can
Nazarene
see how he
idea
sees
that's
you. You look
love your neighbor as
untroubled
yourself.
and
That's
beautiful.
bullshit. Why?
Not
Because
that
you
you're
can't
not
really love your
beautiful
neighbor
now,
as yourself, or you
but
would be like giving them your
you
money
said-
and your food and stuff.
I see your pain. It's hard, knowing that I'm the one who has made you feel this way. But I'm a selfish man. I've wanted you since you fell into my office. You are exquisite, honest, warm, strong, witty, beguilingly innocent. The list is anyone else having you is like a knife twisting in my dark soul. My mouth goes dry. Holy shit. If that isn't a declaration of love, I don't know what is. And the words tumble out of me. A dam breached. Christian, why do you think you have a dark soul? I would never say that. Sad, maybe, but you're a good man. I can see that. You're generous, you're kind, and you've never lied to me. And I haven't tried very hard. Last Saturday was such a shock to my system. It was my wake-up call. I realized that you'd been easy on me and that I couldn't be the person you wanted me to be. Then, after I left, It dawned on me that the physical pain you inflicted was not as bad as the pain of losing you. I do want to please you, but it's hard. You please me all the time, he whispers. How often do I have to tell you that? I never know what you're thinking. Sometimes you're so closed off, like an island state. You intimidate me. That's why I keep quiet. I don't know which way your mood is going to go. It swings from north to south and back again in a nanosecond. It's confusing, and you won't let me touch you. And I want so much to show you how much I love you.
I bet somebody spent a whole year on
He
one
blinks in the
pet just so
darkness,
perfect.
warily, I think,
Really? Perfect.
and I can resist him
If
no
not, somebody's
longer.
gonna do it. It'll be
I
like
unbuckle my seatbelt and scramble
at a
into his
minimum,
lap,
it'll take 2 years.
taking him by surprise, and take his
Well,
head
that's
in
like
my
a shadow,
hands.
just sideways.
I love you, Christian Grey,
Point.
and you're prepared to do
Really?
all this for
At a
me.
minimum, that's that
I'm
one
the
tit
one
says
who is
right here.
undeserving,
Really?
and I'm just sorry that I can't do
You have to.
all
What
those
if you have
things
like
for
a whole
you.
bunch of tits? Then I could be.
Yes, I accept your proposition. Where do I sign? He snakes his arms around me and crushes me to him. Oh, Anna, he breathes as he buries his nose in my hair. We sit with our arms wrapped around each other, listening to the music, a soothing piano piece, mirroring the emotions in the car, a sweet, tranquil calm after the storm. I snuggle into his arms, resting my head in the crook of his neck. He gently strokes my back. Touching is a hard limit for me, Anastasia, he whispers. I know. I wish I understood why. After a while, he sighs, and in a soft voice he says, I had a horrific childhood. One of the crack wars wins. His voice trails off, and his body tenses as he recalls some unimaginable horror. I can remember that, he whispers, shuddering. Abruptly, my heart constricts as I remember the burn scars marring his skin. Oh, Christian. I tighten my arms around his neck. Was she abusive? Your mother? My voice is low and soft with unshed tears. He snorts. I think it was me who looked after her. When she finally killed herself, it took 4 days for someone to raise the alarm and find us. I remember that. I cannot contain my gasp of horror. Holy motherfucker! Bile rises in my throat. That's pretty fucked up, I whisper.
Is it the first movie, first tit you ever saw?
He murmurs. I press my lips against his neck, seeking and offering solace as I imagine a small, dirty, gray-eyed boy lost and lonely beside the body of his dead mother. Oh, Christian. I breathe in his scent. He smells heavenly, my favorite fragrance in the entire world. He tightens his arms around me and kisses my hair, and I sit wrapped in his embrace as Taylor speaking. Christian says softly, Sorry, I murmur as I sit up, blinking and stretching. I am still in his arms, on his lap. I could watch you sleep forever, Anna. Did I say anything? No. We're nearly at someplace. Oh? We're not going to yours? No. I sit up and gaze at him. Why not? Because you have work tomorrow. Oh, I pout. Why? Did you have something in mind? I squirm. Well, maybe. He chuckles. Anastasia, I am not going to touch you again. Not until you beg me to. What? So that you'll start communicating with me. Next time we make love, you're going to have to tell me exactly what you want. I need to know. Oh. He shifts me off his lap as Taylor pulls up outside my apartment. Christian climbs out and holds the car door open to me. I have something for you. He moves to the back of the car, opens the trunk, and pulls out a large wrapped box. What the hell is this?
That I say when I
Open
eat
it
on
when you get inside.
November.
You're not coming in?
I know that they
So when will I see you? Tomorrow. My boss wants me to go for a drink with him tomorrow. Christian's face hardens. Does he now? His voice is laced with latent menace. I could pick you up from there. Okay, I'll email or text you. Good. He walks me to the lobby door and waits while I dig my keys out of my purse. As I unlock the door, he leans forward and cups my chin, tilting my head back. His mouth hovers over mine, and, closing his eyes, he runs a trail of kisses from the corner of my eye to the corner of my mouth. A small moan escapes my mouth as my insides melt and unfurl. Until tomorrow. Good night, Christian. I hear the need in my voice. He smiles. Here you go, he orders, and I walk through the lobby carrying my mysterious parcel. Later's, baby, he calls, then turns and with his easy grace heads back to the car. Once in the apartment, I open the gift box and find my MacBook Pro laptop, the BlackBerry, and another rectangular box. What is this? I unwrap the silver paper. Inside is a black, slim leather case. Opening the case, I find an iPad. Holy shit, an iPad! A white card is resting on the screen with a message written in Christian's handwriting. Anastasia, this is for you. I know what you want to hear. Music on here says it for me. Christian. I have a Christian Grey mixtape in the guise of a
most of
high-end
America
iPad.
and most of the world, not
I
just
shake my
those,
head in
but
disapproval
through the
because of the
movies. My
expense,
other first name.
but deep down, I
Yep.
love it. Jack has one in the office, so I know how they work. I switch it on and gasp as the wallpaper image appears. A small model glider. Oh my, it's the Blanik L23 I gave him. Mounted on a glass stand and sitting on what I think is Christian's desk at his office. I gaped at it. He built it. He really did build it. I remember now he mentioned it in the note with the flowers. I'm feeling, and I know in that instant that he's put a great deal of thought into this. I slide the arrow at the bottom of the screen to unlock it and gasp again.
Do you think everyone
The
likes
background photograph is of Christian and me at my graduation in the tent. It's the one that appeared in the Seattle Times. Christian looks so handsome, and I can't help my face-splitting grin.
When did I really
Yes, and he's mine. With a swipe of my finger, the icons shift, and several new ones appear on the next screen.
3, 2,
A Kindle app, iBooks, Words, whatever that is. The British Library? I touch the icon and a menu appears. Historical collection. Scrolling down, I select novels of the 18th and 19th century. Another menu. I tap on a title. The American by Henry James. A new window opens, offering me a scanned copy of the book to read. Holy crap! It's an early edition, published in 1879, and it's on my iPad. He's bought me the British Library at a touch of a button. I exit quickly, knowing that I could be lost in this app for an eternity. I notice a good food app that makes me roll my eyes and smile at the same time. A news app, a weather app, but his note mentioned music. I go back to the main screen, hit the iPod icon, and a playlist appears. I scroll through the songs and the list makes me smile. Thomas Tallis. I'm not going to forget that in a hurry. I heard it twice, after all, while he flogged and fucked me. Witchcraft. My grin gets wider, dancing around the great room. The Bach Marcello piece. Oh no, that's way too sad for my mood right now. Jeff Buckley. Yeah, I've heard of him. Snow Patrol, my favorite band. And a song called Principles of Lust by Enigma. How Christian.
What?
Another called Possession. Oh yes, very 50 Shades. And a few more I have never heard. Selecting a song that catches my eye, I press play. It's called Try by Nelly Furtado. She starts to sing, and her voice is a silken scarf wrapping around me, enveloping me. I lie down on my bed. Does this mean Christian's going to try? Try this new relationship? I drink in the lyrics, staring at the ceiling, trying to understand his turnaround. He missed me. I missed him. He must have some feelings for me. He must. This iPad, these songs, these apps. He cares. He really cares. My heart swells with hope. The song ends and tears spring to my eyes. I quickly scroll to another, The Scientist by Coldplay, one of Kate's favorite bands. I know the track, but I've never really listened to the lyrics before. I close my eyes and let the words wash over and through me. My tears start to flow. I can't stem them. If this isn't an apology, what is it? Oh, Christian. Or is this an invitation? Will he answer my questions? Am I reading too much into this? I am probably reading too much into this. I dash my tears away. I have to email him to thank him. I leap up off my bed to fetch the mean machine. Coldplay continues as I sit cross-legged on my bed. The Mac powers up, and I log in. From Anastasia Steele. Subject, iPad. Date, June 9th, 2011. 23:56. To Christian Grey. You've made me cry again. I love the iPad. I love the songs. I love the British Library app. I love you. Thank you. Good night, Anna XX. From Christian Grey. Subject, iPad. Date, June 10th, 2011. 0003. To I'm glad you like it. I bought one for myself. Now, if I were there, I would kiss away your tears. But I'm not. So, go to sleep. Christian Grey, CEO, Grey Enterprises Holdings.
Do you?
His response makes me smile. Still so bossy. Still so Christian. Will that change too? And I realize in that moment that I hope not. I like him like this, commanding, as long as I can stand up to him without fear of punishment. From Anastasia Steele. Subject, Mr. Grumpy. Date, June 10th, 2011. 0007. To Christian Grey. You sound your usual bossy and possibly tense, possibly grumpy self, Mr. Grey. I know something that could ease that, but then you're not here. You wouldn't let me stay, and you expect me to beg. Dream on, sir. Anna, XX. P.S. I also note that you included the stalker's anthem, every breath you take. I do enjoy your sense of humor, but does Dr. Flynn know? From Christian Grey. Subject, Zen-like calm. Date, June 10th, 2011. 0010. To Anastasia Steele. My dearest Miss Steele, spanking occurs in vanilla relationships too, you know. You usually consensually and in a sexual context,
What is this?
but I am more than happy to make an exception. You'll be relieved to know that Dr. Flynn also enjoys my sense of humor. Now please, go to sleep, as you won't get much tomorrow.
Why?
Incidentally, you will beg, trust me, and I look forward to it. Christian Gray,
Are you done?
Tense CEO, Gray Enterprises Holdings,
Vibing away, vibing to the oldies.
from 2011, 0012, to Christian Gray. Well, since you ask so nicely, and I like your delicious threat, I shall curl up with the iPad that you have so kindly given me and fall asleep browsing in the British Library, listening to the music that says it for you.
I'm in the oldies.
A. XXX. From Christian Gray. Subject, one more request. Date,
Huh?
June 10th, 2011. 00
Hey, my friend, you know, should I
to Anastasia Steele.
every time they say
Dream of me.
a date, you gotta fire.
Christian Gray, CEO, Gray Enterprises Holdings.
Have you ever vibed with oldies? I'm not.
Dream of you, Christian Gray, always.
Hmm?
I change quickly into my pajamas, brush my teeth, and slip into bed.
Okay, lady.
Putting
Dude,
my
I don't
earbuds
really
in,
give a shit.
I pull the flattened Charlie
This lady's
Tango
like, this
balloon
is
from
what I'm doing.
underneath my
I'm
pillow
almost like,
and
I'm
hug
just on
it.
the wrong camera.
Going to sleep. Jose Gonzalez starts to sing a soothing melody with a hypnotic guitar riff, and I drift slowly into sleep, marveling how the world has righted itself in one evening, and wondering idly if I should make a playlist for Christian.
What's that?
Chapter 3.
Oh, yeah, that's easy.
The one good thing about being carless is
Welcome
that
to
on the
Respect
bus
the
on my
Day,
way to
the
work, I
podcast
can
where
plug my headphones into my
Love
iPad
it.
while it's safely in my purse and listen to all the wonderful tunes Christian has given me. By the time I arrive at the office, I have the most ludicrous grin on my face. Jack glances up at me and does a double take. Good morning, Anna. You look radiant. His remark flusters me. How inappropriate. I slept
Welcome
well.
to Respect
Thank
the Dead.
you,
I'm
Jack.
Kellen Conrad.
Good morning.
I'm Boots, and I'm Mainly
His
Mandy.
brow
And today
crinkles.
it's my turn to
Can
go.
you read these for me and have reports on them by lunchtime, please? He hands me 4 manuscripts. At my horrified expression, he adds, just first chapters. Sure. I smile with relief, and he gives me a broad smile in return. I switch on the computer to start work, finishing my latte and eating a banana. There's an email from Christian. From Christian Gray. Subject, so help me. Date, June 10th, 2011, 8:05. To Anastasia Steele. I do hope you've had breakfast. I missed you last night. Christian Gray, CEO, Gray Enterprises Holdings, Inc. From Anastasia Steele. Subject, old books. Date, June 10th, 2011, 8:33. To Christian Gray. I am eating a banana as I type. I have not had breakfast for several days, so it is a step forward.
So
I
even to
love
say
the
like
British
lesbian, I
Library
would just say
app.
like
I
have a
started
really good,
rereading
really
Robinson
good conversation
Crusoe,
with like
and
the
of
gay man.
course, I love you. Now leave me alone.
To all gay
I'm
men.
trying to work.
You
Anastasia
have to come
Steele,
to the degree and women.
assistant to Jack Hyde, editor,
If I just put you in a
SIE.
room alone
From
with no,
Christian Gray. Subject, is that all you've eaten? Date,
you'll be so
June
bored
10th, 2011,
after enough time that if
8:36.
I put a man
To
in there, you'll fuck that
Anastasia
man.
Steele.
Put a woman in there,
You
you'll
can do
fuck
better
what
than
you
that.
want.
You are
So
going
you
to need
fucking
your
dog.
energy
You
for
fuck
begging.
anything just for
Christian Gray, CEO, Gray Enterprises Holdings, Inc.
stimulation. You
From
hear about those guys who
Anastasia
spend a
Steele.
whole year
Subject,
or even
pest.
more in the hole.
Date, June
I spent
10th,
some time in the hole.
2011,
It sucks.
8:39.
What would I do to
To
fucking make
Christian
it
Gray. Mr. Gray, I am trying to work for a living, and it's you that will be
half
begging.
time? They gave me
Anastasia
toilet
Steele,
paper.
assistant to Jack Hyde,
Throw that
editor, SIP. From Christian Gray. Subject, bring it on. Date, June 10th, 2000. To Anastasia Steele. Why, Miss Steele, I love a challenge. Christian Gray, CEO, Gray Enterprises Holdings, Inc. I sit grinning at the screen like an
So what
idiot,
about you?
but I need to read these
So I'm just saying,
chapters for
everyone's
Jack to
gay,
write
they're
reports on all of them. Placing the manuscripts on my desk, I begin. At lunchtime, I head to the deli for a pastrami sandwich and listen to the playlist on my iPad. First up, there's Night and Sawney, some world music called Homelands. It's good. Mr. Gray has eclectic taste in music. I wander back, listening to a classical piece, Fantasia on a Theme by Thomas Tallis, by Ralph Vaughan Williams. Oh, 50 has a sense of humor, and I love him for it. Will this stupid grin ever leave my face?
Yes,
The afternoon drags.
they do.
I decide, in an unguarded moment, to email Christian. From Anastasia Steele. Subject, bored. Date, June 10th, 2011, 16:05. To Christian Gray. Twiddling my thumbs.
And we
How
are
are
talking.
you? What are you doing?
What I'm doing, right?
Anastasia Steele.
No.
Assistant to Jack Hyde. Editor, SIP.
Sorry, lady.
From Christian Gray. Subject, your thumbs. Date, June 10th, 2011, 16:50. To Anastasia Steele. You should have come to work for me. You wouldn't be twiddling your thumbs. I am sure I could put them to better use. In fact, I can think of a number of options. I am doing the usual humdrum mergers and acquisitions. It's all very dry. Your emails at SIP are monitored. Christian Gray, distracted CEO, Gray Enterprises Holdings, Inc. Oh shit, I had no idea. How the hell does he know? I scowl at the screen and quickly check the emails we've sent, deleting them as I do. Promptly at 5:30, Jack is at my desk. It is casual Friday, so he's wearing jeans and a black shirt. Drink, Anna? We usually like to go for a quick one at the bar across the street. We? I ask, hopeful. Yeah, most of us go. You coming? For some unknown reason, which I don't want to examine too closely, relief floods through me. I'd love to. What's the bar called? 50s. You're kidding. He looks at me oddly. No? Some significance for you? No, sorry. I'll join you over there. What would you like to drink? A beer, please. Cool. I make my way to the powder room and email Christian from the BlackBerry. From Anastasia Steele. Subject, you'll fit right in. Date, June 10th, 2011, 17:36. To Christian Gray. We are going to a bar called 50s. The rich seam of humor that I can mine from this is endless. I look forward to seeing you there, Mr. Gray. A. X. From Christian Gray. Subject, hazards. Date, June 10th, 2011, 17:38. To Anastasia Steele. Mining is a very, very dangerous occupation. Christian Gray, CEO, Gray Enterprises Holdings, Inc. From Anastasia Steele. Subject, hazards. Date, June 10th, 2011, 17:40. To Christian Gray. And your point is? From Christian Gray. Subject, merely. Date, June 10th, 2011, 17:42. To Anastasia Steele. Making an observation, Miss Steele. I'll see you shortly. Sooners rather than laters, maybe. Christian Gray, CEO, Gray Enterprises Holdings, Inc. I check myself in the mirror. What a difference a day can make. I have more color in my cheeks, and my eyes are shining. It's the Christian Gray effect. A little email sparring with him will do that to a girl. I grin at the mirror and straighten my pale blue shirt, the one Taylor bought me. I am wearing my favorite jeans today, too. Most of the women in the office wear either jeans or floaty skirts. I will need to invest in a floaty skirt or two. Perhaps I'll do that this weekend and bank the check Christian gave me for Wanda, my beetle. As I head out of the building, I hear my name called. Miss Steele? I turn expectantly, and an ashen young woman approaches me cautiously. She looks like a ghost, so pale and strangely blank. Miss Anastasia Steele? She repeats, and her features stay static even though she's speaking. Yes? She stops, staring at me from about 3 feet away on the sidewalk, and I stare back, immobilized. Who is she? What does she want? Can I help you? I ask. How does she know my name? No, I just wanted to look at you. Her voice is eerily soft. Like me, she has dark hair that starkly contrasts with her fair skin. Her eyes are brown, like bourbon, but flat. There's no life in them at all. Her beautiful face is pale and etched with sorrow. Sorry, you have me at a disadvantage, I say, trying to ignore the warning tingle up my spine. On closer inspection, she looks odd, disheveled, and uncared for. Her clothes are 2 sizes too big, including her designer trench coat. She laughs, a strange, discordant sound that only feeds my anxiety. What do you have that I don't? She asks sadly. My anxiety turns to fear. I'm sorry, who are you? Me? I'm nobody. She lifts her arm to drag her hand through her shoulder-length hair, and as she does, the sleeve of her trench coat rides up, revealing a soiled bandage around her wrist. Holy fuck. Good day, Miss Steele. Turning, she walks up the street as I stand rooted to the spot. I watch as her slight frame disappears from view, lost among the workers pouring out of their various
So we were
offices.
talking about a crusty, crazy
That about?
Virgo. Her name was Anya
Confused,
Sconcha
I cross the street to the bar,
She was
trying
born
to
76
assimilate what has
years
just
and
happened,
1 day before
while
I
my
was.
subconscious
So
rears
like
her ugly head and hisses at me.
76 BC.
She has something to do with Christian.
I know. She was born to a grocer, but
50
destined
is a
to be
cavernous,
the
impersonal
biggest
bar
girl
with
boss he
baseball
is.
pennants and posters
I don't know
hanging on
this
the
guy.
wall. Jack is at the bar with Elizabeth, Courtney, the other
This is
editor,
not.
2 guys from finance, and Claire from reception.
This is kind of being funny because I don't
She
want
is
to.
wearing her
Maybe
trademark
not.
silver
But the people
earrings.
maybe thought I was.
Hi, Anna. Jack
I'm
hands
really
me a
close, 'cause I
bottle of
really just
Bud.
want to fuck myself.
Cheers.
One of them.
Thank you, I murmur,
Really just like.
still shaken by my encounter with Ghost Girl. Cheers.
Are you done? Oh, this
We
one's
clink
done.
bottles, and he continues his conversation with Elizabeth. Claire smiles sweetly at me.
Are you done?
So, how has your
Anyway,
first week
are you
been? She asks.
Are you?
Good, thank you. Everyone seems very friendly. You seem much happier today.
I don't really know you.
It's Friday, I mutter
It's
quickly.
White Savior is.
Oh, anyway, this
Do you
guy
have
though.
any plans this weekend? My
He may
patented
not be, and so
distraction
don't judge me.
technique works, and I'm saved. Claire turns out to be one of
I
7
love him.
kids.
Why?
And
Because he's
she's
just
going
like.
to a big family get-together in
Mother
Tacoma.
Teresa was born 76
becomes
years
quite
and 1 year before
animated.
I was.
And I realize
And he just
I
like
haven't
has
spoken
the
to
whole
any
book
women
all
my
about
own
it.
age
I love
since
it.
Kate left for
In
Barbados.
history.
Absently,
Lots of
I
people
wonder
know
how
her
he
as a
is.
saint. A mere
Why? Because that
Elliot.
motherfucker was born
I must remember to ask Christian if he's heard from him.
1985
And Ethan, Kate's brother, will be
And the
back
third.
next Tuesday,
before you
and he'll be staying in our apartment.
order
I can't imagine
of
Christian
the
is going to
goodness
be
of
happy about
humanity.
that.
Her name would
My
become
earlier encounter
synonymous
with
with
strange
virtue,
ghost girls
generosity,
seems
and
further from my
godliness.
mind.
Oh shit!
I
During my
wonder if fucking
conversation
full
with
name
Claire,
is Saint Thomas
Elizabeth
the
hands
bitch.
me another beer.
Can I say that on
Thanks.
You
I
can't.
smiled at
Trigger
her.
warning, I said bag.
Claire is very easy to talk to. She likes to talk. And before I know it, I'm on my 3rd beer, courtesy of one of the guys from finance. When Elizabeth and Courtney, Jack joins Claire and me.
Okay, so when I was a kid, my mother would always be like,
One of the finance guys
he does her
engages Claire in
best.
conversation.
She's no Mother Teresa.
Yeah.
Which is good, because if she
Jack's
was
voice
like
is
Mother
soft
Teresa,
and
she
he's
probably
standing a
would have
bit
given
too
me HIV
close.
and the phobia I
But I've
deserved.
noticed that he has a tendency to do this with everyone, even at the office.
Yes, you.
I've enjoyed myself this week. Thank
We'll
you,
get to
Jack.
that.
I'm so excited.
Yes, I think I
And
made
I
the
will
right
just
decision.
say, Mother Teresa was a
You're a very
beasler.
bright girl,
She
Anna.
was the biggest beasler
far.
to ever be
I
smart.
blush.
Oh,
So I am so excited for this episode because Kaylin has
wonder
been
how
like
you
I don't know what else
teasing
to
Mother
say.
Teresa for us
Why
for
would
like
everyone do
weeks.
that?
The private market
I
district.
think that was one of the
Not
first people I talked about when we decided to do this. I was like, I want to dig up her fetid corpse and drag it through the fucking streets of Hanukkah.
You did,
Well,
you did. And I feel like she's also just one of those ones that I keep coming across when I've like been like, who are people that are dead that suck? Like she's always popping up on lists, so I'm excited to actually read it. I'm on some FBI list or something. But I've been purposely trying to not read that much about her because I kind of was like, oh, I
Christian
can
drapes his arm around my shoulder and I see a casual display of affection.
so I'm so excited. I'm also excited to hear about like how her peak. She has like the best PR in the world because she is remembered as being
Kisses my hair.
the sweetest angel that has ever lived.
She is
greener.
only remembered that way in the
And
West.
excited.
Okay, I'm ready.
He draws me to his side and I glance up at him and stares at Jack.
So by the age of 12, she was cleaning a... Can we
Turning his
just
attention to
I'm
me,
gonna
he
do
gives me a
that.
brief, crooked smile followed by a sweet kiss.
Absolutely
He's wearing his
At first I was like,
jacket
this is gonna be my drag queen name.
white shirt.
That's what I thought. I'm like, I'm 100%
Jack shuffles back
Arya
uncomfortably.
Ganja.
Pick one of
Jack,
This is so
It's
good.
Christian.
This is gonna be mine. I want these.
So by 12, she was claiming a divine connection to God, and by 18, she had joined up with a bunch of Irish nuns called the Sisters of
Christian
Loretto,
says
and
with
they
a
started
small,
doing
full
missionary
smile
work
that doesn't
in
leave his
India.
eyes
The name
as
of
he shakes
Teresa
Jack's
comes
hand.
from Saint, I
I
think
glance
this is
up at
French,
Jack,
like
who is
Saint
mentally
Therese of
assessing a
Lisieux,
fine
who is the
specimen of
patron saint
manhood in
of
front of him.
missionaries. So
I'm
like,
the
this is
boss.
probably the most
Jack
racist
replies
saint
arrogantly.
possible.
Call it a
I
saint.
did mention that X.
Between 1931 and 48, she taught at a Catholic high school and then decided to open her own school and work with the poor.
No longer
And
X.
work with
Christian
sort
replies
of
calmly.
means used
Come on, baby.
for
Time
like
to go.
photo opportunities, publicity, and to further develop her own sense of morality. And like she once said that poor people were put on earth to suffer so that people
I
who were
glance at
close to
Claire,
God
who
could
is,
show
of
God's
course,
love
staring,
and develop their own
open-mouthed
character.
and with
So like
frankly
Instagram
carnal
missionaries.
appreciation at Christian.
Like literally like blonde women who pose with African children. Yeah.
Yes. Oh no,
Yeah.
100%. But like
Christian replies,
so much worse.
dramatic smile.
At least they're only in it for
And
the
the
clout,
song
right?
of anticipation runs through my
Yeah,
body.
they're not like burning
Another
kids
time,
with like hot knives or
Jesus
Add,
Christ!
he says to me as he takes my hand.
Taylor!
See you Monday. I smile at Jack,
Trigger warning.
Claire, and the guys from finance.
Pretty
Trying
much
hard to
knives.
ignore Jack's custom
Specifically.
expression.
2 years later, she created the Missionaries of
Taylor's
Charity,
at
which
the
is
middle
like
of the alley waiting at the
it's
curb.
like very focused on the
Why
family.
did that
It's
feel
like,
like a
oh no,
pissing
don't
contest?
worry, we're doing good
I asked
stuff. We're the
Christian as
Missionaries
he
of
opens the
Charity.
car door for me.
So they said that their mission statement was to care for the sick and the dying,
His
and by
enigmatic smile then
1965,
shuts
she
my door.
had an official
Hello,
international
Taylor, I say,
religious
and our eyes
family.
meet in the rear
So
view
it's sort of
mirror.
like drag moms.
Okay.
Taylor
With, like,
acknowledges with a
Young
genial
drag
smile.
queens, it's like she's like the
Christian
mom,
slides in
she's like the
beside
house
me,
mom, and she
clasps my
runs this
hand,
like gaggle,
gently
this cult
kisses
of
my
nuns,
knuckles.
and they have to like
Hi.
follow
He
her
says softly.
direction because she's
My
like
cheeks
godly
turn
enough.
Like a nun ballroom would be such a funny
Grateful
idea
that
for a
his
Yes.
stage child watch it. Oh my
Christian
god.
Christian is giving me.
Sister
It takes all my self-restraint not to leap on him right here in the back seat of the car.
Honestly, I remember.
Oh,
Well, I
the back
should.
seat
He's
of
really,
the
really
car.
nice. Like, redheaded kid.
Hi,
He's the first like
I breathe, my mouth dry.
boss
What would you
I
like to
had
do
to
this
go.
evening?
It was like,
I thought you said we had
you're gonna
plans.
tell me what to do.
Oh,
I understand
I
what you
know
but
what
like
I'd
you,
like to do,
what's
Anastasia. I'm asking you what you want to do.
you just sort of have this
I
fucking
beam at
lanyard
him.
and you go like this and hallway
I
all the
see.
time.
He says with a
Oh,
wickedly
really?
salacious grin.
Yeah.
So,
And did he have
maybe
a
it is
girlfriend?
then. Do you want to beg at
And
my place or
Were they always
yours?
together?
He tilts his head to one side and
Was she
smiles
good looking?
his oh so sexy smile
Why?
at
Because
me.
we were always like,
I
good
think
job.
you're being very
Really?
presumptuous, Mr. Gray.
yeah,
But by way of a
you would
change,
just tell a guy
we
this
could go to my apartment. I bite my lip deliberately and
Anyway,
Taylor, Miss Steele's, please.
Dorm Pride, man.
Sir.
Church with Dorm
Taylor
Pride.
acknowledges and he heads off into the traffic. So,
Anyway,
how has your day been? He asks. Good. Yours? Good. Thank you.
You're done.
His ridiculously broad grin reflects mine, and he kisses my hand again.
On its
You look
original
lovely, he says.
location.
As do you. Your boss, Jack Hyde.
Are
Is
you
he
done?
good
My
at
friend,
his
you're
job?
good. Are you done?
What? I
don't
frown.
I
Why?
never heard of it.
This isn't about your pissing
That's a good
contest?
Why?
Christian smirks.
I got in trouble.
That man
I
wants
did. I
into
got
your
actually got in trouble.
panties,
When I
Anastasia.
first started. I couldn't
He
believe it.
says dryly.
I was like,
I go
I knew there was
crimson
the
as my
rules and
mouth
shit.
drops open,
and
and I glance nervously at
he was gonna
Taylor.
fuck with me too much because I was
Well,
living with a senior.
he can want
Yeah.
all he likes. Why are we even
He's
having
like-
this
So
conversation?
he's like, look,
You know I have no interest in him whatsoever. He's just my boss. But that's the point. He wants what's mine. I need to know if he's good at his job.
I didn't know.
I shrug. I think so.
Transfer.
Where is he
Easy.
going with this?
What?
Well, he better
They
leave
said
me
that
alone
you're
or
forcing
he'll
him
find
to pay
himself on his
$20
ass on the
for
sidewalk.
video game. So
Oh,
no.
Christian,
It's nothing like
what
that.
are you
I play this
talking
video
about?
game. I've been playing this
He
video game
hasn't
for
done
years.
anything
He comes
wrong
into my room
yet.
and wants to play me.
He just
And I tell him every
stands
time
too
I'm gonna whoop his
close.
ass.
He makes one move.
I'm gonna whoop
you
his ass
tell
so
me.
badly
It's called
that
gross
I'm
moral
gonna farley
turpitude
down this guy.
or sexual harassment.
And in order for
It
him not
was
to do
just a
that,
drink after
he
work.
gives me $20.
I mean it. One move,
Well,
and he's
anyway,
out.
his mom called the
You don't have that kind of power. Honestly.
Not
And before I roll my eyes at him, the realization hits me with the force of a speeding freight truck. Do you, Christian?
I was like, no, absolutely not.
Christian gives
It
me
goes
his
against the
enigmatic
rules of the
smile.
Farley. He's like,
Fine,
I know. He
company,
understood. He respected me.
I
What's
whisper in
the
horror.
in any game?
His smile slips in response to the
No matter
panic
what.
in my voice. Not
You can
exactly,
in any game
he
you
says.
if you lose
You bought it. SIP.
whatever the score is to 0, a solid
He blinks
0,
at me
not 2,
warily.
not 3. It can't be like 10 to 2, no. But
You
if you
have
lose 10 to
or you
0 in
haven't?
something
What
completely,
the hell? Why?
you have
I
to run
gasp,
Farley,
appalled.
which means
Oh,
you run
this
from
just
farm
is too much.
to Farley.
Because I can, Anastasia.
You don't have to do it
I
immediately.
need you safe.
Because a lot of times
But you said you wouldn't
you have to do
interfere
it
in my
within like
career.
24 hours, 48
And I
hours or
won't.
something.
I snatch my hand. Of course I'm mad at you.
This
I
kid says,
see.
why do
I
you
mean,
keep taking money from him?
What kind of
Well,
responsible business executive makes
he wants
decisions
to buy
based on
his
who he
beer,
is
but he's
currently
not
fucking?
21. He just want to be friends, kind
I
of.
blanch
But
and
he's
glance
such-
nervously once more at Taylor, stoically ignoring us.
It was like,
Shit.
was it? He's a nice
What a
kid, but
time
it
to
was
have
like,
a brain-to-mouth filter malfunction.
we could sit here and talk. We
Christian
just don't play
opens
the
his
game
mouth,
against me.
then
because I'm
closes it
the
again
shit out of
and
you.
scowls at me. I
Why?
glare
Because
at
here's
him.
the thing.
The
Here's what
atmosphere
happens.
in the car
If he
plunges
scores,
from warm with sweet
I can never
reunion
live it
to
down
frigid
as a
with
player. He'll
unspoken
be like,
words
I'd be
and
like, I get
potential
you 56 to
recriminations as we
to
glower
7.
at each other.
Yeah, but remember that touchdown I had?
Fortunately,
And he'll
our
talk about it for
uncomfortable
years
car
and
journey
years. So it's
doesn't
very
last
important
long,
that I never let
and
it score.
Taylor pulls up outside my apartment. I scramble out of the car quickly, not
So anyway,
waiting for anyone to
he
open the
says-
door. I hear Christian mutter to Taylor,
Let's play.
I think you better
Let's
wait
play.
here.
And the other kid, my friend.
I sense him
dude, he's
standing
gonna
close
whoop my
behind me
ass
as I
if
stroll.
I was here.
I sigh and
He's
turn
which
to
is
face him.
really, really
I
fucking
am
serious.
so mad at him.
They'll throw me
My
out of the
anger is
university,
palpable.
and I was not doing
A
anything.
dark
Literally,
entity threatening to choke
it
me.
was like maybe we're making a bet, but like
First, I haven't fucked
you
you
could get me
for a
for
while.
gambling, I guess.
A
On
long
like
while, it feels.
game, but like
And
that, no,
second,
that was pretty
I
easy.
wanted to get into publishing. Of the
It's
four
like
companies
it's not like
in
I would knock
Seattle,
on his door and be like, "Hey, give me
SIP
$20."
is
No,
the most
he'd knock on my
profitable.
door and say, "Let's play
But
this
it's
game,"
only
and I'd say,
us,
"I don't
and
want
it's
to play
going
with
to
you. You suck."
stagnate.
And he'd say,
It needs to
"I'll give you
branch
20
out.
bucks," and I'd be like,
I stare frigidly at him. His eyes are intense, threatening even, but sexy as hell. I could get lost in
So
their
we
steely
played. I whooped his
depths.
ass 49
So
really,
you're my
on
boss now.
3-minute quarters,
I
and they're
snap.
fast. Really,
Technically, I'm your boss's boss's boss.
really.
And technically,
I mean, I
it's
just-
gross
I
moral
whooped his
turpitude.
ass.
The fact
Really?
that I am
Maybe they're
fucking
not.
my
Maybe
boss's
it's on five.
boss's
I whooped
boss.
his ass.
At
0.
the
He
moment,
scores.
you are
That's all that
arguing
matters.
with him.
So I don't know what I had.
Christian
but I
scowls.
I didn't
I
do
hiss.
this fucking rule. It's part of the
Christian
norm. It's part
steps
of, like,
back
the
in
culture
stunned
of
surprise.
the university.
Oh shit. Have I gone too far? And ass?
I'm like,
He
dude,
murmurs as his expression
gotta
changes to one of amusement.
why?
God
Well,
damn it!
if
I
not,
am
now
mad
you're
at you.
now you're
Do
like,
not make me laugh.
first thing,
Yes.
you said you weren't going to do this. You said
I
you weren't going
struggle
to
to
play
maintain my
me
look of moral
and then
outrage.
try to get out of it.
An ass. Christian says
Your mom
again.
said you can't give away
This
any more
time,
money.
his
She says
lips
every time
twitch
you
with
lose because you have to go to the
smile.
fucking ATM and give me money.
Don't make me laugh when I'm mad at you, I shout. And he smiles.
And he's like, well,
A dazzling, full-toothed, all-American
like,
boy smile.
dude, I'll do it.
And I can't
He's
help
like,
it.
huh?
I
like,
am
dude, I'll
grinning
do it
and
with
laughing too.
We'll do it and
How
just
could
get it
I
over
not
with.
be
Really?
affected
Just
by
get
the
it
joy
over.
I see in his
Just really.
smile? Just because I have a stupid damn grin on my face doesn't mean I'm not mad as hell at you.
Theory of
I mutter breathlessly, trying to suppress my high school cheerleader giggling, though I was never cheerleader.
Fuck it, man.
Bitter thought
So we go
crosses
down
my
to the
mind.
parking lot.
He leans in, and I think he's going to kiss me,
I
but he
get all the
doesn't.
people in our little
He nuzzles my hair and
Hey,
inhales
we're gonna run a parlay because
as ever, this
JP and his
deal
and he
are
doesn't.
unexpected.
Okay, so
He
we get
leans
like
back, gazing at me,
10 guys,
his eyes dancing with humor. So,
naked asses
are you
finally
going to invite me
back.
in? Or am
Really?
I to be sent
So he
packing
does.
for exercising
And then
my
that was like
democratic
over.
right as an
Really?
American citizen,
Yeah. Why?
entrepreneur, and consumer to
Did you ever
purchase
play the game with
whatever I
him again?
damn well
He
please?
learned his lesson. He never played.
Have you spoken to Dr. Flynn about this? He
Why?
laughs. Are you
He's just
going to
kinda
let
like-
me in or not,
Truthfully, he wanted to
Anastasia?
run a parlay. Really. He was
I
really
try
like,
for a grudging look.
probably a secret
Biting my lip
exhibitionist.
helps,
So he's
but
throwing
I'm
all these
smiling
games.
as I open the door. Christian turns and waves to Taylor, and Audi pulls away. It's odd having Christian Grey in the apartment. The place feels too small for him. I am still mad at him. His
I love
stomach
Sister.
knows
What
no
about your other?
bounds,
Ours.
and it dawns on me
I
that
remember
this
my
is
brief
how
having.
he knew about the email being monitored at
I know he's
SC What can I do?
say some people say
Why does he
something
have
like
this need to keep me safe?
this.
I am a grown-up,
This is smart.
sort of, for heaven's sake.
Right.
What can I
Really?
do to reassure him?
But it's pretty
I
good.
gaze at his face
Really?
as he paces the room like
Yeah.
a caged predator,
With
and my anger
around
subsides.
the way, travel.
Seeing him here in my space, when I thought we were over, is heartwarming.
Really, yeah. And then you
More
got
than
the
heartwarming.
picture of those kids around it.
I
And
smells with nervous, heady
I
elation.
shouldn't say nobody wants it. It doesn't
He
get
glances
that, but I
around,
want to be
assessing his
who
surroundings.
just like that fucking Jay Veteran.
Nice
Really?
place.
Yeah.
He says.
Everybody happy.
Kate's
and
parents
shut
bought it for her.
Really, yeah. Then who
He
was
nods
your,
distractedly, and his bold gray eyes come to rest on mine,
what do you mean?
staring at me.
Um,
Would you like a drink? I
Dave
mutter, flushing with nerves.
Other than
No,
that.
thank you, Anastasia.
No.
His
Give it
eyes
up.
darken.
Actually,
Why
I don't
am I
know.
so
I think it was
nervous?
something like that. I could be wrong.
What would you like
He
to
was
do,
super cool.
Anastasia?
Well, first, Jay
He
Veteran was
asks
great.
softly
Why?
as he walks toward me.
We would go and play
all
beer pong
feral
with
and
our
hot.
RA. No one else
I
had
know
that.
what I
Really, yeah.
want to do. He
Meaning,
adds
like,
in a
we
low
couldn't play on
voice.
campus with this guy.
I back
We
up
walked
until I
in,
bump
walked
against the
up with him,
concrete
come
kitchen
back on
island.
campus.
I'm
Drive
still
us
mad
there.
at you.
Really? Yeah.
I know.
Allegedly. Really?
He
And then
smiles a
like,
lopsided, apologetic smile, and I melt.
this kid, we'd
Well,
have to fix this.
maybe
Well,
not
I'll just
so
tell you,
bad.
it's a sad situation.
Would you like something
It's
to
one
eat?
big party.
I ask.
A place where
He nods
there weren't
slowly.
facilities for people to go to the
Yes.
bathroom. Really, yeah. It's just like a huge,
He murmurs.
imagine like a block party.
Everything
of
south
like
of
an
my
alley.
waistline
Okay, so
clenches.
this kid, he's a
I'm
freshman or
seduced by his
something.
voice alone. But
He's
that
there.
look,
He's got to go to the
that
bathroom. He's
hungry,
from where
I
am.
want
And
you
he
now
knows
look.
it was like
Oh
totally
my.
cool up until like
He's
maybe
standing in front of me,
2000 or so.
not quite
Ish.
touching,
They've never like
staring
like,
down
he just
into
told
my
me, "Keep on
eyes
kissing
and
me."
bathing me
Really.
in the heat that's radiating
Not
off
like
his
in
body.
daylight.
I am
You
stiflingly
could
hot,
if it were like in the woods.
flustered,
You could go
and
camp.
my legs are
Really,
like
you
the
would not
jolliest
go.
dark
It was
desire
like people were
courses
more
through me.
normal,
I
and
want him.
the law wasn't enforced where it's like public indecency.
He
Why?
murmurs.
Back in the day, they did
I
not
had
have
a
bathrooms, so
sandwich
you would
at
just go to the
lunch.
bathroom in the woods.
I
and it was
whisper.
like, that's what you had to do. Nobody
I
would
don't
get
want
arrested
to
for
talk.
it. But then you got pervert guys
He narrows his
who were
eyes.
like flashing themselves and stuff like that at people. And then
I'm
one guy
really
like,
not hungry right now
one skit
for
says
food.
this, goes this lady,
What are you
or this
hungry
lady
for?
shows, you want to see my kitty? And he's like, huh?
I think you know,
This
Mr. Gray.
Oh, he's like, oh, it's
He leans down and
How you
Vituja.
know?
He whispers softly in my ear. Yes, I breathe. Where?
What was that in your story? Is that the end of
Everywhere.
your story?
You're going to have to be a bit more
So,
specific than that. I told you,
my seems
I am
like,
not going to touch you
so this
until you
kid,
beg me
totally,
and tell me what
this
to do.
happened to a lot of people,
I
and I
am
could totally
lost.
see it happen to me. I could
He's
totally
not
see it
playing
happening.
fair.
Why? We drink a lot of coffee,
I whisper,
and
please what?
water or
Touch
something
me.
would be in like a car trip we have to go. And
He is so
you know,
tantalizingly
I've got that thing
close.
where you can pay into that thing,
His
but you don't
scent
always have those things.
intoxicating
Really,
me.
they didn't sell
I
those.
reach out
Yeah,
and
Amazon, you have to
immediately
be on
he steps
those
back.
to get those.
No,
Even then,
no.
usually they just have like a bed.
Chides,
They didn't
his
have a
eyes
bottle.
suddenly wide and alarmed. What? No, come back.
Yeah. Is that the end of your story?
He shakes his head. Not at all. I can't keep the longing out of my voice.
No.
He looks at me uncertainly, and I'm emboldened by his hesitation. I step toward him, and he steps back,
What's
holding up his hands in defense, but smiling. Look,
Oh,
Anna,
so this poor kid.
it's a warning. And he runs his hand through his hair, exasperated.
It's not a nice place.
Sometimes
It's
you don't
totally a
mind,
college.
I observe
It's like a
plaintively.
fraternity house. It's the exact same
Perhaps
scene
I should find a
in
marker pen
Animal
and
House
we
where
could map
Ludo's
out
just
the
pissing
no-go
basically. That's my
areas.
thought. Really, yeah.
He
But it's that
raises an
kind of
eyebrow.
environment. So
That's not a bad idea.
what?
Where's your bedroom? I nod in the direction.
So
Is
he
he deliberately changing the
has to
subject?
go to the bathroom, and there are no facilities.
Have you been taking
So
your
what's he
pill?
do? He comes up against the wall
My
of a
pill.
building, and
His face falls at my
and he
expression.
catches him.
No,
Places.
I
His
squeeze.
head to
I see. He
register
says,
as a sexual
and his
offender.
lips pressed
Since
into a
he's
thin
been
line.
18 years old,
Come,
and
let's have something
right
to
out of high school. He was one to get
I thought we were going to bed. I want to go to bed with you.
this is decades ago.
I know, baby.
I don't know if all that is true.
He
Maybe
smiles,
he doesn't sound like
and
he did,
suddenly
but he
darting
does.
toward me,
And a
he
one-time
grabs my
mistake like
wrists and
that,
pulls me into
and
his
I could
arms
easily
so
see
that
this.
his body is pressed against
Oh
mine.
my God.
You need to eat.
That
And so
long?
do I. He murmurs,
I feel it's too
burning
strict.
eyes gazing down at me.
Yeah. Why?
Besides, anticipation is the key to seduction. And right now, I'm really
What's
into
stopping
delayed
some guy from just going
gratification.
out and eating in front of you?
Huh. Since when? I am seduced and I want my gratification now.
That's the thing.
I'll beg. Please? I sound whiny. He smiles at me tenderly.
That's where a judge would be like, well,
You're
it's
too
according to the
slender.
law, blah, blah, blah.
He kisses my forehead
And
and
you would just need
releases
somebody
me.
to come and be your hero. And
This
say,
is a game,
all right, yeah,
part
but
of
that's a
some
bullshit
evil
situation.
plan. I
That
scowl
doesn't
at
know what
him.
happened, but I would try to fix
I'm
it.
still mad that you bought
Because
SIP. And
that's the
now I
equivalent.
am mad at you because you're making me wait.
Of
I
like
pout. You are one
a
angry
bus full
little
of
madam,
kids and
aren't you?
showing your gift to it. It's
You'll
like
feel
that
better
was not
after
the
a
same
good meal.
situation. Really.
I
Having
know what
to
I'll
look
feel
at
better after.
up against the bush in a building
Anastasia
in the middle of the night
I'm shocked.
because there are no
His tone is
facilities
gently
around
mocking.
that can be used.
Stop teasing me.
It's a lot
You don't
different.
fight fair.
In the
He
middle of the
stifles
day,
his grin by
but there
biting
is
his
the
lower lip.
exact same thing.
He looks simply adorable. Playful Christian toying with my libido.
Thank you.
If only my seduction skills were better. I know what to do.
Yeah, and you see anything
But
like that.
not being able to touch him does hamper
So
me.
we'd fix that situation.
My
And
inner
for life,
goddess
he'd be
narrows
really
her
happy with
eyes
that
and
too.
looks
Why?
thoughtful.
Because we would ask him about
We
that.
need to
Like, this
work
is a
on
smart
this.
kid. We'd ask him about that situation and be like,
As Christian
that
and I
sucks.
gaze at each other, me, hot, bothered, and yearning,
I would tell
and
my friend
him,
about it.
relaxed and amused
You
at
never
my
and
expense.
I tell this story.
I
Eventually, that
realize
kid became. So
I have
that's
no
the thing.
food in the
I would
apartment.
tell my friend Jimmy's
I
story.
could cook
Eventually,
something,
that kid became
except
mine.
we'll
All right?
have to go shopping.
Really? Yeah.
Shopping? For groceries. You have no food
Okay, and then my
here?
senior year.
His
Yeah.
expression
I don't really
hardens.
remember his name. So I want to say his name was Ron.
I shake
That
my
was high
head.
ago.
Crap.
But yeah.
He
And what
looks
about
quite angry.
it? Looked the way.
Let's
But,
go shopping then. He says sternly
was he
as he
cool?
turns on his heel
I
and
want to say for
heads
his
for the door,
performance,
opening it wide for
Jimmy
me.
was gone partying with an RA.
When was the last time you were in a supermarket?
I was older than he was.
Christian looks out of place, but he
Yeah.
follows me dutifully,
The fact that we
holding a
got
shopping
my
basket.
room, like when
I
we did
can't remember.
in the
Does Mrs.
John
Jones do all the
technically,
shopping?
but Jimmy Claus, my
I think
but
Taylor helps her. I'm not sure.
my other friend and I lived there. We
Are
just
you
basically
happy
like
with the
on
stir fry?
paper though.
It's
It
quick.
was Jimmy.
Stir fry sounds good.
My friend and I lived
Christian grins, no doubt figuring out my ulterior motive for a speedy meal.
What'd you do? It was just anyway.
Have they
In
worked
fact,
for
when we
you
got that
long?
room, it was like, oh,
Taylor,
we're
4
set.
years, I think. Mrs. Jones, about the
We've been
same.
there 3
Why
years
didn't
now.
you have any food in the apartment?
My
You
friend's
know
brother was
why?
at that door. My
I
roommate had
murmured,
that. We
flushing.
were very well established.
It was you who
That
left me.
we knew already. We knew
He
that
mutters
there was no
disapprovingly.
right there.
I
So
know,
it's like, now
I
you're gonna
replied
tell
in a
me
small
what to do.
voice,
How
not
old was he?
wanting
I think he
that
had to be a senior
reminder.
behind. So he was a senior as
We reached the
was I.
checkout and
But
silently
it's
stand
like,
in line.
I remember saying to him,
If I
okay.
hadn't left,
And he was
would
like,
he have offered the vanilla alternative? I wonder idly. Do you
21.
have anything to drink? He
And I
pulls
had
me
maybe,
back to the present.
like, when you turn to
Here,
22.
I think.
And he's like,
I'll get some wine.
okay.
Oh dear. I'm not sure what
So I'm
sort of
old.
wine is available in Ernie's supermarket. Christian reemerges
But
empty-handed,
once that happened
grimacing
on
with a
college, it
look
was
of
like big
disgust.
after. So no touching me.
There's
Really,
a good
it's
liquor
like,
store next
I'm
door,
old.
I say quickly. I'll see what they have. Maybe we should just go to his place. Then we
Now, why
wouldn't
didn't
have
you
all
live
this
off campus
hassle.
without you knowing?
I
It's very much
watch
like
as
what
he
you did.
strolls
I would have
purposefully
I would have
and
just
with
worn
easy
house
grace out of the
and
door.
they would have been broken up.
2
I
women
would have
coming
gotten
in stop and
all the
stare.
I never had it really.
Oh yes, I my 50 shades, I think despondently.
Not
I want memory in my bed, but he's playing hard to
I should
get.
say a lot, but like
Maybe
never
I should too.
anything that was like.
My inner goddess nods frantically in agreement, and as I stand in line, we come up with a
Are you
plan.
done?
Christian carries the grocery bags into the apartment. He's carried them as we walk back to the apartment from the store.
Really?
He
Why do you know
looks
it's
odd, not his usual
It's like
CEO
there's something
demeanor at all.
Something
You
I can
look
see.
very domestic. No one has ever accused me of that before, he says dryly. He places the bags on the kitchen island. As I start to unload them, he takes out a bottle of white wine and searches for a corkscrew. This place is still new to me. I think the opener is in that drawer there. I point with my chin.
It's a time.
This feels so
It's known as a it's a time.
two people getting to know each
Control
other,
viewer
having a
is a
meal.
device that allows
Yet
another
it's
point in
so
time.
strange. The fear that I'd always felt in his presence has gone.
Obscure subgenre.
We've already done so much together.
It's coming
I
from the
blush
past.
just thinking about it. And yet, I hardly know him. What are you thinking about? Christian interrupts my reverie as he shrugs out of his pinstripe jacket and places it on the couch. How little I know you. His eyes soften. You know me better than anyone. Mrs. Robinson comes unbidden and very unwelcome into my mind. It is Anastasia. I'm a very, very private person. He hands me a glass of white wine. Cheers, he says.
I would
Cheers,
say, like, what would
I
the first
respond,
things I'd say to my friends
taking
when I
a sip
first
as
like
he puts the bottle in the
connected with them?
fridge.
Well,
Can I help you with that? He asks.
The future,
No,
but
it's fine.
also
Sit.
like,
I'd like to help.
dystopian future.
His expression is sincere. You can chop the
All that
vegetables.
shit
I don't cook,
nailed it.
he says,
I would,
regarding
the
the
first
knife I
thing, if I
hand
were
him
wrong
with
in anything, the
suspicion.
first thing I would do is come back to
I
my friends and
imagine
be
you
like,
don't
I was
need
wrong
to.
here. Everything else,
I place a chopping
no,
board and
fuck
some
it,
red
nailed
peppers
it
in
all.
front of him. He stares down at them in confusion. You've never chopped a vegetable? No. I smirk at him. Are you smirking at me? It appears this is something that I can do and you can't. Let's face it, Christian, I think this is a first. Here, I'll show you. I brush up against him and he steps back. My inner goddess sits up and takes notice. Like this. I slice the red pepper, careful to remove the seeds. Looks simple enough. You shouldn't have any trouble with it, I mutter, ironically. He gazes at me impassively for a moment, then sets about his task as I continue to prepare the diced chicken. He starts to slice, carefully, slowly. Oh my, we'll be here all night. I wash my hands and hunt for the wok, the oil, and the other ingredients I need, repeatedly brushing against him, my hip, my arm, my back, my hands. Small, seemingly innocent touches. He stills each time I do. I know what you're doing, Anastasia, he murmurs darkly.